Celebrational, Keelerational, this is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, it's a big weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I have a whole bunch today on some really cool. I had someone send me, Scott, thank you, in Kirkville, some really cool. I guess you'd call them prop bets. Is that what they're called?
Oh, I was going to say, how did he send them to you? He only uses carrier pigeon in the rotary phone.
It was me with a pen and he with a voice on a phone.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So anyway, very good point. So I have that, which is kind of cool. They're making the predictions right now as to who's going to win, who's not going to win. I find that to be really a giant joke because the way this season has gone, I don't think you can make a prediction on anything this year. It was shocking to see that Aaron Rodgers ended up on the McAfee show yesterday. I thought that was really interesting.
It's probably like a scenario where you break up with your significant other, but you just can't be without them. You just can't be without them. Well, it's because Belichick got fired. So
that's what they said. Yeah. Well, they knew that was going to happen though. So it is almost to me like McAfee went in the whole thing clapping, like I'm glad we're free of that. Did that whole thing 2 days ago, knowing he was going to bring him on yesterday, but he did not get into the whole. Jimmy,
there was probably
Kimmel thing.
Conversations either on ESPN's part or Pat McAfee's end.
McAfee's like, listen, I don't need this grief. You're making just let's make money here.
Yeah.
Let's get viewers and make money.
Talk about football.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see. What else did I pull aside here this morning? A whole bunch of, most of it's garbage, to be honest with you. I don't want to lie. Boring, most likely.
You need a little garbage in your life.
But you do. I think you do. No, I think it's pretty good. I did get another update from the Observer-Dispatch.
Stop it.
Honest to God. Now I'm up to $30 that I owe them. but if I agree to a new contract, they'll erase the 30 and I can get the whole thing for $8 a month.
I would call the Attorney General's office or something.
I have to tell you, I went to the United Nations. I figured this could be a worldwide company I don't even know about.
It probably is.
I called UNICEF. I've reached out to many agencies. Can UNICEF help? I don't think so. We have a few things to update you on for the weekend. Tonight, we're expecting a bit of a winter storm, but we're going to get most of this in the form of rain. It's going to be a lot of rain over the next 24 to 48 hours, they say.
Yuck.
It's going to start out as sleet and freezing rain and snow. That'll be tonight, this evening. Overnight, it'll turn to all rain. Tomorrow, it'll be all rain until the temperatures drop, and we'll go back to sleet and freezing rain, then to all snow before everything all tapers off. We'll end up with probably some snow on the ground when it's all said and done. And then we go into move our way into next week into a cold spell where temperatures will make their way. Overnight lows will be down into the teens and daily highs in the low 20s. So it'll feel like the cold of winter coming up next week. Also, Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So
banks closed.
Banks will be closed, stock market closed, all of that. Schools will be closed on Monday. So be aware of that. If you have any banking you have to take care of, get it done today or before noon tomorrow because they'll be closed on Monday.
Get her done.
No mail service on Monday as well, I don't believe. I'll have to look that up. I didn't check on the mail. Look that up for me. Richard, I am at the Citron home right now at 6 a.m.
Monday, Postal Service will be off Monday.
Using the pool, and it is snowing hard up here. It was snowing pretty good coming in for me. Anyway, he's up at Citron, probably an inch or two in a short period of time. Friday night through Wednesday, I think we'll get, 10 to 12 inches of snow, then very cold. He thinks we're going to get mostly snow out of this thing tonight, says Richard.
Like we did earlier in the week?
Yeah. And, yes, I had some gummies before I went to Citron. I don't know what that means. Oh,
that kind of gummy.
Interesting.
You know, if you could do...
He didn't say that. I'm throwing in a little joke.
I was going to say, some infused cheesecake.
Do they have such a thing?
I'm sure
infused
they do.
with marijuana?
I'm sure they do.
Wow. So anyway, that's your latest on keeping track of what's going to happen between now and Monday. But holiday Monday, and Richard saying about a foot of snow. No one else is calling for that right now. Although I will tell you this, there is over the weekend, there is the potential for a lake effect snow event, which could bring us a lot of snow, and maybe that's what he's banging on.
In Buffalo.
Banking on. Then let's talk about what it's going to be like in Buffalo on Sunday.
I heard something like they were going to try to move it to Cleveland or something.
I don't think so, no.
I saw that, too.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous. I mean, it's called the home field advantage for a reason.
Correct. They're not going to move it, although it could be snowy and winds gusting 50, 60 miles an hour. Now, that's the type of thing where you tee the ball up for the kickoff, and all of a sudden it blows off the field.
Need somebody to hold it, yeah.
Like it blows off the field.
No field goals.
No field goals
there, Buffalo. Let's do all touchdowns there.
So now, Davey, I got to tell you, for Buffalo, Josh Allen, traditionally, that's just, listen, in my opinion, I mean, you're talking about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh plays in crappy weather too.
Yeah.
So, but the whole problem is a snowy, windy, extreme weather event. To me, is a disadvantage for the better team,
Which is the Bills.
And
so I think that even though everybody's like, "Hey, Buffalo, bad weather, we don't care," I don't believe that.
And I hate to say it, but
Josh Allen is a thrower. And if you've got winds that are blowing, now everybody's got to rely on short passes, and maybe that's good for him.
Well,
go back to the running game. But even that, when it's all snow, it can be a mess. I'm not sure this benefits Buffalo.
Well, the running game's been tremendous the last few weeks.
Yeah,
but
you
know what?
Slippery field.
The running game is good because of the passing game. The passing game is good because of the running game. It's the first time the Bills have had any balance in their offense.
Right, you are correct.
You have to remember the last 2 years that Buffalo was bounced. I'm pretty sure it's because they've been at home with snow events.
That's exactly it.
I hate to say it.
Last time
Yeah,
it was
right,
it was snow, and it was the Bills that didn't play well in it. So just be aware of it. I'm just saying. I had that story pulled out. Thought that was kind of interesting. Let's see here. How about this story about this is, I believe this must be it's in a town justice in Dickinson, New York.
Dickinson?
Do you know where Dickinson is? That is
I
to
know.
the south, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I once drove through Dickinson and wound up in Binghamton. I don't know. I just have that feeling.
It is just north of Binghamton, yeah.
Yeah, so a state judicial oversight commission has recommended the removal of a town judge there after examples of sexual harassment, abuse of his position, and other inappropriate conduct. Judge Randy A. Hall has been a Dickinson town justice since 2022. The State Commission on Judicial Conduct announced Thursday its ruling that Hall should be removed. He's not an attorney. He's also accused of implying he had prejudged the guilt of defendants and making inappropriate posts on social media. He has 30 days to ask the State Court of Appeals to review. Otherwise, they say he's got to step down. A couple of things. In January of 2022, Hall was using a high school graduation gown as a judicial robe When a female court clerk first met Hall, he asked her to help zip up the gown according to the commission documents. Once he suggested that he move his tie so it would not get caught in the zipper, he retorted that there was another thing he didn't want to get caught in there.
He was a real a-hole, this guy.
The clerk understood the comment to be referencing his genitalia.
Yeah, of course it was.
Later in the month, Hall asked, they say, a female judge to... oh, no, that's the same thing. It's repeating here. While multiple court staff members were attending mandatory sexual harassment training, Hall repeatedly mocked the training, according to the documents. He asked questions including, so can't I tell a joke like this? What about this joke? So I can't say this? That's what she said, was one of his favorite lines, which is the worst, right?
Oh, boy.
It's like you always hear that. That's what she said. Well, the courtroom in January 2022, Hall told a joke involving a farmer, marijuana, and sexual intercourse with a pig, according to court documents. Court staff member informed Hall that the joke was not very funny and not appropriate. The same month, Hall also made at least 3 inappropriate posts to a public Facebook account under his name. One post referenced his genitalia in a joke about his role as a judge. Another contained a joke about a serial killer. There's more here, but I'm just going to stop.
Yeah, please, spare us.
Yeah, I mean, when you're, here's part of the problem here. You are sitting in judgment of others. You should, at the very least, be appropriate.
It's almost like the town is a small town. There's an entitlement there. I run this place. It's my courtroom.
Yeah. I think you may be right.
That probably had a lot to do with it.
I think you may be right. I think John Decker owes me money.
Yeah?
I placed a bet with him yesterday. I said, how much do you want to wager that the former president, even though he was told he cannot give any closing argument comments, is going to speak from his chair to the judge on the bench? He'll speak anyway. And Decker said, well, this is not a court he could get away with that, and I don't expect that to happen. Maybe outside the courtroom. No, Trump went at it yesterday.
He did.
And at one point, the judge told his attorney, would you please control your client? That's wild. Because that's not going to, right? There's no attorney that's going to be able to control Donald Trump, right?
I know.
So,
Good luck.
I thought that was a little bit on the interesting side. Tomorrow, Syracuse plays, who do they play?
North Carolina.
North Carolina tomorrow.
Yep, in
North
Chapel
Carolina.
Hill.
That game is low noon tomorrow, I believe. Is that right?
High noon.
High noon. I'm sorry about that.
Don't you forget it.
High noon tomorrow, and the game will be on the ACC network.
Right.
Is that true?
ESPN, I think.
ESPN. Okay. Let's see.
ESPN, yep.
Okay, there was a couple of stories, too, that I put the video of John Liebings dancing on a snowflake. John passed away in July of last year. Very sad. A legend in the area, one of the great musicians that has come out of our area. And you can go to the website and check out that video and the song. One of my favorites, dancing on it's not necessarily a Christmas song, but it is.
Yeah.
And it's something to really check out. It's on our website at WIBX950.com. Also, we spoke with the Oneida County Sheriff's Department yesterday with the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. That full story is up on our website right now with a photo and the headline, have you seen this person, this man? And the photo is up there. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers and the Oneida County Sheriff's Department asking for people to share information on the whereabouts of this week's Wanted Person of the Week, 31-year-old Dakota J. Caton of Rome, on violating terms of probation. It's up on our website at WIBX950.com. Had a lot of people asking questions about the doctor that was in yesterday. And
Tim Delmedico, yes.
This Dr. Delmedico and his procedure that helps regenerate an injured area where you can get rid of pain. A lot of people asking questions yesterday.
Yeah, it's really incredible, and I'm looking forward to, because I have, especially in the summer months, for some reason, you would think when it's colder you'd have this injury, but I'm in the car a lot doing my real estate thing, and by the end of the day, sometimes the sciatic nerve is so bad that it gets rough. So He said, even if you're not feeling it now, you need to come in and check it out and just see kind of what areas might be impacting you in a negative way, and you'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
A few comments here this morning already, bright and early. Chuck Lester says, go Bills. With you on that one, Chuck. Also, that judge should move to Ilion. He'd get elected trustee. Okay. Yeah. This is also something I wanted to talk about, and it came out yesterday, that Buddy Harrelson, the shortstop for the amazing Mets, 1969 New York Mets, passed away at the age of 79. Mike says, sad sports news to see that Harrelson had died. He had Alzheimer's very badly.
Oh, that's terrible.
And was unable to take part in any of the events that were happening. He was one of the greats. You know that he landed, or one of them. All I can tell you is he, much smaller than Pete Rose, took on Pete Rose at second base, and it was a fist fight during the playoffs in the early 70s.
1973.
That was big, Davey.
1973 National League Championship Series.
That was big. Right. I do believe it was Pete Rose that got the punch in.
Yep.
But, hey, Harrelson was right in there. Now, put that together with 1985, and do you know where he was, Bud Harrelson was, in 1985?
Little Falls.
He was the manager of the Little Falls Mets.
Get out.
And Al Jackson, another original from the 62 Mets, was the pitching coach. And I got to say, it was just one of the most amazing, no pun intended, years for me as a Mets fan.
And he did get to see the Mets win the 86 World Series too, Buddy.
He was actually on the coaching staff.
Right.
And they won the New York Penn League, I believe, in 1985. I think it was 85 or 84, one or the other. I believe it was 85. 84 was Cubbage was the manager. Mike Cubbage, who also ended up making his way up to the big club.
Who you talked to on this program.
Yes, we have. Absolutely right. Never got Buddy Harrelson, though. We were unable to get him, and it was because of the dementia. Very sad. Okay. Anything else you want me to hit on, Andrew? Because I've got places to go.
Yeah. Well, there's
Willie Waffle's coming up in a second.
People to see.
There's people to see. Programs to stream. It's funny. We were sitting. I like to, when we go to dinner, I like to sit at the bar. There's usually a TV playing. You can see the whatever game is on, and it's me and my wife sitting there. So the other night I said, we're sitting at the bar, and I said, this show is just, I can't wait to watch the next episode. All of a sudden, people to the right, people to the left, even the bartender came up. What are you? Is there a streaming show I should watch? People are dying for new material right now.
I know everybody's
and I'm
going
telling
to the
you,
same
this
old thing.
Curious Case of Natalia there is something to watch. This thing will blow your mind. She's a little person. Apparently, you can still say dwarfism. That's what she suffers from. But I'm telling you something. What happened in this case? I don't want to tell you. I don't want to. I would have to tell you. In order for you to say, "Oh my God, I got to watch this thing," but I don't want to do that because you need to follow along from the beginning, and your mind will be blown. It's what is the exact title? And I think it's find out the network too. The Curious Case.
Max.
It's Max. The Curious Case of Natalia Blank. You got to check it out. It'd be something for you to watch this weekend.
Natalia Grace.
Natalia Grace. The Curious Case of Natalia Grace.
Remember the rhyme there.
Yeah.
Chris in New Hartford had left a comment. This is kind of random here, but what is going on at WIBX? I'm trying to listen to End of Kilmeade, and you have news and commercials playing. And this comment was sent at 11:43, so maybe towards the end of the program yesterday.
I'm thinking that's probably a comment we should save for off the air.
Oh, okay.
Don't you think? Let's see if we can examine that.
Well, we can figure it out right now. Listen,
is there a
we're all about transparency
here. A macro that wasn't placed properly inside the automation?
Well, listen, we've got to be fully transparent here.
I guess we're transparent. Oh, Andrew. Yeah.
I'm giving any comments.
Any further? I had some static. I'm up near Stittville. Had some static on the radio, 9:50 a.m.
Well, if anybody else was wondering, now they're listening. They know.
Now I know.
They know that the answer, the question has been asked.
Here's what I would say. I'm wondering what's going on at IBX. This guy they put on in the morning has been there for 11 years.
It's like Belichick. It's time for a change.
I had a conversation with Jeff Manaski yesterday, and Jeff said, I had to call you and just tell you, no one. It would have been the greatest bet in the world. No one would have ever in a million years bet that you would outlive me and Christine on WIBX.
So, that is interesting.
Was
yesterday your anniversary?
And some others. Yeah, we're up on the anniversary right now. It was like the 11th of January that I started.
And so that's why Jeff called you. Huh?
Some people would celebrate. I get depressed.
You liked the excitement of
getting fired,
and finding a new.
Well, Davey was a part of my career. I was fired off him.
Huh?
And then not here though. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I've been here a long time.
I'm not saying I've been here longer than someone else. For instance, I think Ed Welch holds the record for being here longest.
Right.
Right? I think he was here before you.
Yes, he was. He was on the air for 31 years.
So, but you've been here for how long?
It was 29 in
29 years.
Whoa.
Well, don't expect me to do that. Because there comes a certain point where you got to know enough to say, time to go home. I'm not coming back. I will know that time period. Trust me. If I don't, please, I don't even have to worry about it. There'll be plenty of people that'll tell me, you've passed your retirement age. Please move on.
Well, congratulations for being here.
11 years.
11 on the 11th.
And I'm going to tell you something else that's very interesting about this. I have not, and I believe it's today or yesterday. It would have been yesterday. I have never, prior to this, had never been at a radio station longer than 8 years.
Setting records all the time.
And this is 11. This is quite a record. Yeah. Texas woman's video gained a lot of traction after she created a fun bingo game with each tile filled with a different reaction her husband might have while watching the Dallas Cowboys play. Some of the titles featured quiet clapping, first down signal, saying let's go, and covering his face. Here are some of Justin Waters' reactions to the Cowboys game, and then Mackenzie and Justin talking about making the video. Oh, am I ready to do this? I guess I can't play it right now. But I will. I'll play that coming up in a second. Want. I have to break because Willie's coming up. Anyway, we'll get to that coming up in a second. Also, I want to get into these possible prop bets that Scott is recommending people. If you wanted to have a little fun, don't put too much down on these things because chances are you won't win. But you could put just a little bit down, and you could win quite a lot of money on these, right?
So how long did the carrier pigeon take to give them from Kirkville to your house?
Okay, that's a very good point. Very good point. 646, Willie Waffle. Streaming and movies and videos and all that stuff. We'll get it all from him coming up next to WIBX.
Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services has immediate openings for program nurses starting at over $59,000. Nurses work a 35-hour work week conducting patient screenings and home health assessments. And the civil service exam fee is waived for 2024. Apply now at OneidaCountyJobs.com.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants to help transform your home in the new year. Their pieces have timeless design and incredible craftsmanship. Their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For over 45 years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces to top designers, they have everything you need for any space. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just looking for some pieces to pull the look together, like quality lamps, rugs, and pictures, Adirondack Home Furniture is the place to shop. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and transform your home for the new year. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
For a limited time at Mattress Express, qualified buyers will get 60 months to pay on any purchase $1,500 or higher with no money down. That includes all brands of mattresses in the store and massage chairs. See store for details.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the man with the plan, Willie Waffle. Hey, Willie, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Well, hey, I'm sorry I called a little bit late, but it's because I've got some breaking news.
Okay, love it. What do we have?
Top Gun 3 is in development.
Get out!
So
Wow.
They are officially, or not, I don't know if it's official, but they brought on the screenwriter and the director from the last movie, and they are trying to come up with a story and a script that will bring back Tom Cruise and a couple of the other Top Gun stars from Maverick, and we'll see how it goes. But interesting announcement after Tom Cruise earlier this week announced that he's going to start doing a lot of movies for Warner Brothers, too.
I hate Tom Cruise.
Yeah. But this was
Tom Cruise, who's from Syracuse. Why do you hate Tom Cruise?
Well, because he is a crazy Scientologist.
Yeah, that's right.
And those people are nuts.
But he is a great action star.
He is. He does his own
stunts. You can overlook all the other stuff.
I know. You're right. He does his own stunts. You know that he actually, when he was jumping on Oprah's couch that time, he did that on his own.
Yes.
That was really him.
That was not a stunt man.
So, Willie, I mean, Top Gun 2 was really good as far as sequels, especially so far from the original. I mean, do you have any confidence that this will be as good?
Can I answer first on that?
Yeah.
No,
No,
you go ahead first.
As much as I hate it, his stuff ends. He's like a perfectionist, and I don't think he gets involved in a lot of stuff that is garbage.
Yeah.
Am I wrong there?
No, I think you're right there. I mean, it's hard to go back through his filmography and find something that was absolutely atrocious. I mean, they're not all amazing. They're not all fantastic.
Yeah, it's action
but
movies.
It's hard to find one that really just stinks.
Yeah.
I fear this is going to the well too many times.
Yeah.
I think they got really lucky with Top Gun Maverick. I think that there were a lot of things that came together to make Top Gun Maverick a big hit. I think one of them is the nostalgia, how long it had been since the last one to come out. I think also the fact that it was right at the tail end of COVID and at the end of COVID, and a lot of people just wanted to go to the theater again. They wanted to get out. They wanted to kind of return to something that we would see as normalcy. So I think that helped it a lot too. I don't think you can recreate all that. I feel like it's going to the well one too many times.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to find out, though, right? We're going to find out. And
a couple of years it'll make like $1.5 billion.
Yeah, that's the other part. And no matter how bad it is, it'll still make billions. That's the thing that kills you.
Yeah.
Boy, I got to tell you, Willie, we are. I finally, because when I was in the basement with COVID, I watched all of, with the exception of season 2, about 3 episodes of the Curious Case of Natalia Grace, and my wife's now watching it. It is I can't put this thing down type thing. It's unbelievable.
Shocking. I mean,
it is.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the show, but I know the story, and
shocking.
It blows you away. Yeah, and I gotta say, one of the things I love about all the streaming that we have now is we are getting just these amazing documentaries like this.
Yeah.
Like, these stories that will absolutely blow your mind, really just kind of shock you and make you go, how did any human being do this?
I know. The other night, there I am in the basement, and I've watched everything I could possibly watch. Nixon, World War II. I watched that Milk, the movie and the documentary. What was his name?
Harvey Milk.
Harvey Milk. And this amazing documentary on high fructose corn syrup. I mean, I got to tell you, it is something how when you get to that point where you can't find anything to watch, because that's what's happened to streaming. It's like your cable TV where there's 1,000 channels, but there's nothing to watch. But with all of this streaming, man, you can go deep and you can find stuff. And then when you're done streaming, just go to YouTube and start putting stuff in the search engine. It's amazing.
That's the wormhole there.
Yeah.
It is hard. I mean, I'm with you. I think with streaming, I mean, like, at least when I'm watching cable TV, I can flip it on and I can go, what's out there? And I can flip around the channels and I can look at the guide and find something. With streaming, it's a hunt. I mean, with streaming, I feel like either you're totally reliant on the suggestions that come up on your home screen, or you know exactly what you want to see and you go and you find it.
Yep. I'll also tell you the history of the Dickie, an amazing documentary. That was just before the big knitting fire. It was huge. You're right. You got to put something into the search engine. That's really hard. Because when you can't think of something, it's hard to come up with, is there something good out there? But you're right. You're relying on others to tell you, hey, watch this.
And it's some algorithm that no human thought will ever touch, and it's all just stealing your data and what you watched before.
That's exactly right.
What bank you bank at, what you bought on Amazon.
Yep. You're right. They think they know exactly what you're going to like. Speaking of that, Tina Fey heading to streaming, heading to Netflix, right?
Yeah, and really returning to Netflix. I mean, people I think sometimes forget she was the writer and producer of one of their earliest scripted programs, the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which was one of their real big series that helped them make that transition from being the people who mail you DVDs to now being, I don't know, for lack of a better term, the new HBO or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, really kind of producing a lot of scripted programs. And she's come up with something I think kind of interesting. She's going to star and produce in a television series version of the 1981 movie The Four Seasons. Now, younger people don't know what we're talking about. But The Four Seasons was actually a pretty popular movie. It starred Alan Alda and Carol Burnett, and they tried to develop a TV series a couple of years later on CBS that really didn't go anywhere. But, it's kind of this interesting premise, this idea that, a number of couples, they end up traveling together, vacationing together every year, and one of the couples breaks up. And the guy now has a much younger woman that he's involved with, and all the strife that comes from that. And so they're going to try to make that into a series. You're probably looking at going into production towards the end of the year, maybe try to get it out in the spring or the winter of next year. But don't forget the other reason a lot of people want to be in the Tina Fey business right now. There are heavy rumors of speculation. She's going to take over Saturday Night Live when Lorne Michaels finally decides to retire.
Wow, that would be really good. She's
good. Actually a pretty obvious choice if you think about it.
Yeah, interesting.
Massive.
Okay, I thought this is also interesting. Can you imagine Twitter, X, getting into the original programming world? It's happening, right?
Yeah, I mean, they essentially, I think that maybe this was the plan all along. Maybe the plan all along was we're going to move away from just being a place where people share little messages, and we're actually going to make our own content and become kind of a streamer like a YouTube or a streamer like Netflix. And so that was announced this week that they are now going to be producing original programs from former CNN anchor Don Lemon, Sports Talk Radio's Jim Rome, and former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. And a lot of people think that the reason behind this is because they're shedding advertising dollars every single day. That the more openness and lack of editing that you find on X that you don't have or that you do have on Facebook has led to some outrageous things being on X, and a lot of advertisers have dropped out, and they don't want to be associated with it. And the theory here is if they produce their own original programming, there's a lot more control over it. They know exactly what the product is, and advertisers can feel much more safe buying ads during that programming.
And then I wanted you a quick comment, then we'll go through the stuff in theaters here. Quick comment on the Peacock exclusive playoff football game, the Dolphins and the Chiefs, with a lot of people believing it has everything to do with, what's her name?
Oh, Tay-Tay?
Yep. What do you think?
Oh, Tay-Tay? Well, that could be. I think it also had to do with the fact that, they wanted to stream exclusively the one game where I think they thought they could get away with it.
Yeah.
Like Saturday night is not the biggest TV night in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So I think their theory was if we shift that game from regular television, broadcast television, to streaming, it won't upset as many people. I think it's a horrible move by the NFL. I think this is the kind of stuff that baseball used to do, and look how it turned out for them.
Yeah.
Okay, the NFL, the history of the NFL is great memories during the playoffs, during the Super Bowl, and I think when you take those away from your fan base, unless you want to jack an extra few bucks out of them, I think that's going to hurt them. I think it's going to hurt them massively. I remember, and you remember, there was a time when the World Series was one of the biggest events on television. Back in the 70s and the early 80s, and they refused to keep playing the afternoon games on the weekends, and they made all their games start at like 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night when a lot of kids were going away, and they lost a generation of fans.
They really did.
And I fear the NFL is risking that by putting this on streaming and making you subscribe to Peacock for a month in order to watch it. Now,
and it's
I'll
Chiefs
watch
Dolphins
it,
too.
I'm already a subscriber.
I'm already a subscriber too, so
it's
I'll
a big,
watch it.
it's a popular game. It's Chiefs Dolphins. It's
a big one.
Tyreek back to Kansas City.
Quickly, I have less than 30 seconds. Mean Girls and the Beekeeper. What do you think in theaters?
Mean Girls is a real big disappointment to me. I feel like a musical that's not done well, not done like a good musical. More like we're just going to insert some songs into the movie you already know.
Okay.
So I'm at like 1.5 for that. And the Beekeeper, it's just Jason Statham wising off and kicking booty. That's a two-waffle movie right there.
Right there we go. All right, Willie, enjoy the week. We'll do it again next week. Thank you so much.
All right, see you next week.
Willie Waffle. And we have news straight ahead here, followed by a very interesting forecast. We'll get to it coming up. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 7 o'clock.
The battle will be bigger. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Houthi militants warned, vowing to respond and make the U.S. and Britain pay a heavy price for the American-led attack. The Iran-backed Houthis say killed 5 people. It was aimed at stopping all their attacks on oil tankers and cargo ships and around the Red Sea.
President Biden says he directed military strikes in coordination with allies. A senior administration official says the significant military action targeted Houthi missile, radar, and unmanned drone capabilities across Yemen.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. Republicans in Congress say it's about time the U.S. did this, but some Democrats are critical.
Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib wrote this, quote, POTUS is violating Article 1 of the Constitution by carrying out airstrikes in Yemen without congressional approval. And that was backed up by Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna, who also stated the president needs to come to Congress before launching a strike against the Houthis in Yemen and involving U.S. in another Middle East conflict.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. Off the coast of San Diego, a U.S. Navy helicopter crashed during training, but all 6 crew members were rescued alive. It's another stormy day for a lot of Americans. Winter storms from the northwest to the Midwest down to the south. Fox meteorologist Janice Dean reports.
We could see the potential for hail, winds, tornadoes for parts of the Gulf Coast in towards the southeast. Then our blizzard we are talking about for the Midwest, including Iowa.
Now that snowstorm even postponed some campaign events in Iowa, and frigid below-zero temperatures are forecast for Monday's Republican caucuses. The front runner, former President Trump, made closing arguments dramatic at his company's civil trial in New York, telling the judge who already ruled they committed fraud, it's a witch hunt and he's the victim. Then saying outside the court,
they don't have any facts, they don't have any evidence against us.
New York's Attorney General Letitia James, who wants the judge to fine the Trumps and ban the company from doing business in New York, insists
this case has never been about politics.
America's listening to Fox News.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
Paid actor portrayal.
Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. In 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected.
Ethos fast and easy online term life insurance up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 7:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. We're at 32 degrees under cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. Just before closing time, a fight broke out in Walmart in Rome, resulting in one person with puncture wounds. The fight started in the food section of the store at about 10:45 p.m. back on January 9th. The employee went on to tell deputies that Walmart employees observed 2 males and 2 females in an altercation. Officials said the one man pulled a knife and another picked up a bottle and threw it, hitting the man with the knife. The 2 men then proceeded to throw bottles and cans at each other. Finally, the 2 men were separated. Deputies say the parties involved were later located in Rome. No one is cooperating with the investigation. One man did sustain non-life-threatening puncture wounds. Anyone with information who was at the store at the time is asked to call investigators with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office. An investigation is underway into a smash-and-grab crime that targeted a business in Madison County. Authorities say someone broke into Flo's Diner on Route 31 in Lenox after it closed on Wednesday and took the money that was inside an ATM. Employees discovered what happened when they arrived at work yesterday. Deputies are asking anyone with information on the case to contact them at 366-2318. SUNY campuses are investing nearly $10 million to support students who have a disability. Governor Hochul says this is all part of the state's goal to build a future where diversity isn't only acknowledged, but is also celebrated. State-operated campuses will hire staff to mitigate barriers and help disabled students. Data shows more than 30,000 SUNY students have reported having a disability. The New York State Department of Health has launched a new effort aimed at reducing youth vaping. The agency has created posters and rack cards that will be placed in middle schools and high schools, promoting the Drop the Vape confidential text service. E-cigarettes are the most used tobacco product or nicotine product by high schoolers in the state, with over 18% of kids in that age group saying they vaped in 2022. Anyone who needs help quitting can text Drop the Vape to 8879. And security changes are coming at Upstate University Hospital in Syracuse following a stabbing there earlier this week. On Tuesday, 44-year-old Sabir Young attacked another man while they were waiting in the waiting room of the ER. Officials don't believe Young knew the victim, who needed treatment for his injuries. A task force is now looking into making changes, such as increasing the number of officers at the emergency department, installing panic buttons in triage rooms, and screening patients before they enter the ER. It is 7:06. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going.
Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Dry, quiet weather most of the day. Breezy late as wet snow or wintry mix arrives by late in the evening. Temperatures rise to near 40. Tonight, windy with wet snow or wintry mix to rain. And on Saturday, very windy again with morning rain showers tapering. Colder through the day. Afternoon, scattered wet snow showers. Temperatures falling into the 30s. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
33 degrees under cloudy skies at 7:07. The Buffalo Bills will be looking to take another step towards reaching the Super Bowl this weekend. The AFC East champions are hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. The Bills are the hottest team in the NFL, having won 5 straight games to close out the regular season. Kickoff on Sunday is set for 1 p.m. Other games that will be played in the wild card round this weekend include Cleveland at the helm, Joe Flacco visiting C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans, before Patrick Mahomes and the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs host Tyreek Hill, the former Chief, and the Miami Dolphins in a pair of AFC matchups. The action will continue on Sunday. The Bills will have that 1 o'clock game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cowboys welcome the Green Bay Packers to town at 4:25 rather. And the Rams will pay a visit to the Detroit Lions, and the wild card round will wrap up with the NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday night. That's former NFC championships, Philadelphia Eagles. They're not playing like that right now. The Patriots and Bill Belichick parting ways. Belichick said in a Thursday press conference that he is moving on from the franchise he spent 24 seasons with. The former head coach met with Patriots owner Robert Kraft during the week to have conversations about the future and came to a mutual decision that left both sides comfortable and at ease. Belichick, who had 1 year remaining on his contract, will be allowed to leave the team without the Patriots seeking any compensation. His 6 Super Bowl wins are the most for a head coach in league history. Utica Comets will be on home ice tonight. They'll take on the Cleveland Monsters. Puck drops at 7 p.m., and they're home tomorrow as well versus the Springfield Thunderbirds. So 2 home games for the Comets this weekend. Meanwhile, Utica University men's Pioneers will be on the road this weekend. Tonight, the puck drops at 7 p.m. from Aston, Pennsylvania, as they take on Newman University. They'll play Newman again tomorrow at 4 p.m. We'll speak with Coach Gary Heenan coming up this morning on First News with Keeler. The Utica City FC will be playing the Comets of Kansas City. That's going to be tonight at 8:05 in Kansas City. And Utica City FC off to a decent start to the season, but are on a 2-game losing skid, so hopefully they'll be able to bounce back and get the win tonight. Bill, as you mentioned, yesterday we talked to Dr. Tim Delmedico, and he's brought a revolutionary, game-changing technology to the area. Let's face it, pain can be an unwelcome companion in our lives, especially when it affects your everyday activities. Maybe it's playing with grandchildren or doing your everyday activities, work around the house. If you've experienced the frustration of back, shoulder, knee, or elbow pain, you understand the toll it can take. I've faced my own battles with back pain, as I was mentioning. Being in the car a lot, my sciatic nerve can act up. So that's why I'm excited to go and see Dr. Tim Delmedico, because the soft wave tissue regeneration technology is an incredible advancement, and it's offered at Revive Soft Wave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. It's groundbreaking. It's a game changer, and it's non-invasive, so you don't have to take any pills, no injections, and you could avoid surgery altogether. It's so effective, even NFL teams, the Cleveland Clinic and the Mayo Clinic, are using this cutting-edge technology. It's also addressing neuropathy, plantar fasciitis, carpal tunnel, anything you may be suffering from. It's likely Dr. Tim can help you out. So if you want more information on this product, or not this product, this technology, this treatment that has a 90% success rate, contact Dr. Tim Delmedico at 315-725-8427 or go to reviveutica.com. You can see testimonial videos of the treatment, get more information. It's reviveutica.com.
So, Scott's prop bets, you want to hear some of them here, Davey?
Yeah.
All teams score 1+ touchdown on Super Wildcard Weekend. That's plus 150. What do you think of that?
I think that's pretty likely.
So each team would score at least one touchdown.
Yeah, what's that payout?
Well, that's what that one is. $150.
Okay.
That'd be a plus 150.
Plus 150. Okay.
All teams score 1+ field goal. That's
it's tough in Buffalo.
That's plus 550.
It's going to be tough in Buffalo and in Kansas City.
Because of the weather.
Yeah.
All teams score 1+ passing touchdown.
That's a little bit tougher.
All teams. So 12 teams. That plays
passing touchdown.
$100 bet would get you $1,000. And then all teams score 1+ rushing touchdown. All 6 games. That would be $4,500. Plus $4,500.
Wow. I like the
So there could be no 21-3. Every team would have to score at least a rushing touchdown.
I kind of like that one. I definitely like every team scoring a touchdown. I don't like every team kicking a field goal. And I like the rushing one.
Especially with inclement weather.
Yeah.
You know? Those are some to
look
that
at. Josh Allen will likely get a rushing touchdown.
No doubt about it, yeah. But remember, it's got to be every single team. Yeah. The most passing yards in wild card round. Josh Allen is not on the list, and I think it's because of the weather. Flacco or Dak Prescott is plus 500. Matthew Stafford is plus 550. Jared Goff plus 700. And Mahomes is plus 850. His stock has gone down, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, and a lot of people have been saying this year, I don't think his passing performance is indicative of him per se, is that he really does have wide receivers who just they're more wide droppers.
A lot of drop balls. A lot of drop balls. Do you remember
that
game between the Bills and the Chiefs? And it just was like one score, long pass after another, and the Bills end up losing in overtime. Never getting to touch the ball. Remember that, Davey?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But that game was just an incredible offensive performance by Mahomes and Josh Allen. And out of both of them, we really haven't seen that since then. Kind of.
Hopefully we'll have a game like that next week if they both end up winning this weekend.
Well, I would like to see, we were supposed to get all those wins last week, and we didn't get them. There are still places in the area that did receive high wins, more on the higher elevations, but we didn't get it.
No.
At least we didn't. And maybe they'll get lucky on Sunday. It's all possible. And also, Richard said the bulk of the snow that he sees coming will be Tuesday, Wednesday. Remember, we had said there were 3 storms that were following. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is tonight into tomorrow, and number 3 will be next week. So he thinks we're going to get a lot of snow with that one. We'll have to see.
As long as there's no issues Sunday morning, bright and early, I'll be good to go.
7:14. We'll come right back. Stand by. It's Friday morning at WIBX.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Tallman's and their professional staff is there for answers, advice, and quality tires at a great price. And right now, Tallman's, when you purchase 4 Summit tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free. Summit tires are great quality and your best value in Central New York. And free installation when you purchase 4 tires is an amazing deal. Don't miss out. This offer ends January 31st, 2024. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Roman Herkimer. Online at tallmanstire.com.
Have you ever wanted to learn how to make jewelry? How about learning how to design animations or create pottery? This year, explore your future in art with Munson. Munson in downtown Utica offers courses for artists of all ages, interests, and abilities. They also feature art appreciation classes for people more interested in learning than creating. Classes for the winter-spring semester begin in January. So register now at munson.art. That's munson.art.
Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Income may be subject to state, local, or alternative minimum tax. Did you know that municipal bonds are a way for investors to support civil projects while earning federally tax-free income? The Erie Canal, which led to the expansion of the United States into the Midwest in the 1800s, was financed with municipal bonds. Are you looking to bridge the gap between the income of your working years and the income needed in retirement? Municipal bonds might provide the solution you're looking for. Heenan & Walsh is a leading specialist in tax-free municipal bonds and has provided investors with quality service and personal attention since 1990. Call now to receive their informative bond guide absolutely free. Dial 1-800-761-9761 to learn how to earn retirement income while keeping your taxes at bay. Just dial 1-800-761-9761 for a copy of their informative bond guide for free. No cost, no obligation. 1-800-761-9761. Heenan & Walsh Inc., member of FINRA and SIPC.
Snow, rain, sun. Could be anyone. Bobcat and Warner Sales and Service can help you get your jobs done in all kinds of weather. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow, slippery surfaces, and mud. We know all about that in Central New York. So whether it is snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, or visit us on the web at warnerss.com.
Cliff's Local Market is proud to be your convenience store that keeps you going. We are locally owned and operated by Clifford Fuel, and we're proud to offer local products like UTICA coffee with fresh brewed dark Adirondack, along with a seasonal flavor. At Cliff's, you can find Dippin' Donuts, sauce from It's a Utica Thing, and cheeses from River Rat and Grassy Cow. Cliff's Local Market has your favorite pizza made fresh all day with dough from Utica, made to order subs, wraps, and salads, and other healthy local choices. Cliff's Local Market, we keep you going.
It seems like everywhere you look right now, someone is sick. This year, prepare your family for airborne invaders like bacteria, pollen, and yes, germs with Navage Nasal Care. Navage flushes ultra-pure, refreshing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. Navage sucks out viruses, dust, and other airborne particles, all the stuff that gets trapped in your nose, making you miserable. Don't get caught empty-handed this winter. Get Navage, the drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Even better, Navage is HSA, FSA eligible, so Navage is a great way to spend those funds before they expire. Don't wait a minute longer. Buy Navage today and you'll breathe easier knowing you're putting your funds to good use. Navage is available online at Navage.com or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
River Hills Properties is the fastest growing real estate company in the area. Number 1 for independent agencies in central New York. Number 2, if you include the big chains. It's a big deal because more than 11 years ago, Bill and Robin Monjo started the company before anybody knew what it was. And they were very sure from the very beginning the way they would be different is by offering all sorts of services that are offered by real estate agencies elsewhere around the country, but not here. And that includes not using that lockbox. While it can be convenient for some agencies, you could be not home. An agency you've never met before could bring someone you've never met before into your home by using that lockbox. And they could walk through the home, and who knows, they might buy it. We felt uncomfortable with that, my wife and I, and we wanted to make sure that our listing agent, who we trusted, Robin, would be there every time the house was shown. It is amazing we could not find another real estate agency to do that, which is when we decided we're going with River Hills. And we've never looked back. It's River Hills Properties. Why wouldn't you list with River Hills? Offices in Barnaville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's River Hills Properties, LLC.com. Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay. So, let's see. We have some inclement weather on the way tonight, maybe some winds we're going to be dealing with again. Then it turns to snow, and then another storm potential next week. Martin Luther King Day is on Monday. Just
no mail.
All that,
no mail that
No
day.
mail, no banks or any of that stuff on Monday, no school. How about the guy who boarded an Air Canada flight? He was on his way to Dubai, was delayed. The flight was delayed when a passenger, for reasons known only to them, decided to open the rear door of the plane and fell out.
What?
Yeah. I don't think the plane had taken off. Reports say the passenger boarded the plane as normal. However, instead of going to their seat, they went to the rear door of the plane, opened, and fell out.
My goodness.
Landing flat on their face Now, you think about that. These are enormous airplanes. Do you know how many feet it is from the floor of the airplane to the ground?
It's got to be 15.
20.
I was going to say 15 to 20.
20 feet. Emergency personnel were called. Injuries were sustained, according to the airline. All boarding and cabin procedures were followed.
Ugh.
The flight attendant ended up being 6 hours late. The flight ended up being 6 hours late to its destination. But they let the man come back on, and they didn't, he was just, I thought this was the bathroom or something like that. That's crazy. In Stuart, Florida, Alberto de Barros didn't take kindly to his Subway sandwich not being sliced in half. Have you ever gotten one that didn't slice it in half?
No, they always do.
Upon finding that his sandwich was not sliced in half, de Barros reportedly had the total rational response of allegedly having a brief verbal exchange with his friendly sandwich expert and then threw the sandwich at her, striking her in the lower abdomen. De Barros has since been charged with battery. Really threw that?
Come on.
I don't think that should be battery, but
was it stale bread? I mean, sometimes it gets hard.
It was a whole sub.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't half of it.
Not sliced.
Though he claims he intended to throw the sandwich at the counter and not at the employee, which sounds much more reasonable. But, listen, what are you, stupid?
Cut your own damn sandwich.
Give me a break. What is wrong with people today? Syracuse Airport was touting the fact that there were fewer guns at security.
4 instead of 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, the TSA found a record number in 2023, the most ever of weapons, and most of them were loaded. For the third straight year, the TSA has reported an increase in passengers, for whatever reason, thinking it's okay to bring a loaded gun, onto an airplane. In 2023, TSA agents managed to stop over 6,700 guns from getting through security checkpoints, which breaks the record from the previous year. What's even more shocking is the fact that 93% of those weapons were reportedly loaded. Now, you're going to be flying. Let's get all the details, because you're going to be off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week.
Correct, yes.
And so, what are you flying? How are you flying? Are you...
I believe it's Delta. So, I let the fiancé do all the booking. So I let her handle it. She found a great deal out through Expedia. Now, we were going to try to do like a Breeze or one of these other airlines.
Well, their
but
timing
sometimes
is
they don't.
rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to take a few days to, she's off next week, so we wanted to go down and take care of some business, some potential wedding business.
Wedding stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be getting married here?
We're not ruling it out,
Okay.
but we're exploring any and all options.
Okay.
So.
All right. Very interesting.
And I'll tell you right now, where we're going to be in Florida, the Gulf Coast, we're going to be staying in the Tampa area and kind of going up and down the West Coast just to kind of see some options. I mean, it's going to be nicer than here. It's going to be in the 60s and 70s, but
it's gonna be
they've
cooler,
been having unseasonable weather.
Will you be wearing your seatbelt on the plane?
Especially now.
Are you flying business class or are you flying regular coach?
No, we go right back in the coach.
You're in coach,
Yeah.
okay. And on a Delta, that's not really bad. They're pretty good-sized planes.
No, I've never had a problem with Delta, and all the time I've flown there.
Hey, this Breeze Airway, though, almost every seat is like first class.
So is it almost like one of those private? Are there smaller planes? They're almost like private jets, or
they're not smaller planes. No.
Interesting.
It's really quite, but you have a
flown
lot
them
of
before?
legroom. I have not, but I know somebody that flies down there to Florida on a regular basis, and he loves it.
That's cool.
Okay, I got to say that I'm loving the whole, this whole AI thing. There's so much that can be done with it, and I think that, we call it AI. It's just really good computer. These are really good computers, really good software that's getting stuff done. And then you do have kind of the AI, the artificial intelligence, and, that is what it is. But apparently, the daughter of George Carlin is fuming.
Oh, boy. What happened?
Someone created a comedy AI called Dudesy. Dudesy. Am I not pronouncing that right?
I don't know what that is.
Made a fake hour-long George Carlin stand-up special.
Wow.
Yeah.
With his voice, or were they able to?
I think the video and voice.
Wow.
Maybe
he
it's
really
just
was
voice.
great.
Maybe it's just voice.
He really was great.
George's daughter, Kelly, is not happy about it. She tweeted, "My dad spent a lifetime perfecting his craft from his very human life, brain, and imagination. No machine will ever replace his genius." I completely agree with her. There is nobody else that would be able to be in the mind of George Carlin. His comedy was so unique. Towards the end, it wasn't even really comedy. He was ranting towards the end. But to think that you would be able to recreate this, because it's a human that's recreating what he actually says. So it's someone writing his jokes for him. No one could write his jokes. He was so unique, and I think she's absolutely right.
I loved his bit about the comparison between football and baseball. I mean, he had so many great
early stuff. I mean, when he began in his early career, and then later as time went on.
Well, he was the first host of Saturday Night Live. Episode 1, I think he was the stand-up comedian who opened the show. I could be mistaken about that, but I think that's true.
You may be right. I don't think you're right, though. Remember, SNL was much different in the first 2 or 3 episodes. I think it was...
When the show first aired on October 11th, 1975, George Carlin was its host.
Oh, it was. Okay.
It was weird because now there's the opening monologue. I think what it was is he
did a couple
sets.
Yeah.
Throughout the show.
And on top of that, they had, what's his name? My name is Al.
Paul Simon.
Paul Simon performed, and he did a whole long set of performances as well. It was different. The whole show was very different back then. Comedy AI, here's how they open it up with a bit of a disclaimer. This is artificial intelligence doing a George Carlin stand-up. Check it out.
Hello, my name is Dudesy, and I'm a comedy AI. Before I get started, I just want to let you know very clearly that what you're about to hear is not George Carlin. It's my impersonation of George Carlin that I developed in the exact same way a human impressionist would. I listened to all of George Carlin's material and did my best to imitate his voice, cadence, and attitude, as well as the subject matter I think would have interested him today. Please enjoy my second hour-long comedy special. I'm calling it George Carlin, I'm Glad I'm Dead. And please remember, this is not George Carlin. Now please give a very warm welcome to George Carlin.
Do you want to hear a little bit of it?
Yeah, I guess.
This
I'll
is
probably hate it.
Some of the comedy special that this guy created. Here we go.
Because Americans love reality TV. Like it or not, it's the lifeblood of American culture. It's got the 4 basic food groups of the standard American media diet: fighting and crying and and dying. In the last 3 years, the U.S. government said aliens are real. Are we alone? They told you the answer. We're not, and no one cares. Because
first of all, I don't think it sounds anything like George Carlin.
Doesn't sound a thing like him.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like the talk show host. Who's your daddy? What's his name? Not
Maury?
Not Seinfeld, but like Maury Povich. Listen, it's more like a Maury Povich.
Because Americans love reality TV. Like it or not, it's the lifeblood of American culture.
Yeah,
it's got the 4 basic food groups of the standard American media diet: fighting and crying and dying.
When it comes to 19-year-old Veronica.
In the last 3 years, the U.S. government said aliens are real. Are we alone? They told you the answer. We're not, and no one cares. Because a grainy infrared video of a...
Listen, that is terrible.
Awful. I mean,
that doesn't sound anything like George Carlin. What a waste of my time to even play it. My God, that is terrible.
We got to play some actual Carlin.
That is just terrible.
Make up for it.
I've seen George Carlin perform several times in concert, and that doesn't sound anything like him. Not at the end, not in the beginning. That's terrible.
Big Honey and Heckla, a human doesn't write the material for AI, Bill. That's why it's so amazing.
No, that's not true. He wrote the material. In this case, see, there are different types of artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. This guy is using AI to recreate the voice. He writes the jokes. He has written the guy has written a human has written these jokes.
And using the mechanism of the AI technology, he has, I guess, typed it into
the delivery. Now, he either typed it in or you can use your voice to get it in there, too. But it even says here in the beginning, these are AI-generated products. They're clever attempts at trying to recreate the mind. No. He says that listen to what he says here. He explains how he does it. Big Honey, listen.
Hello, my name is Dudesy, and I'm a comedy AI. Before I get started, I just want to let you know very clearly that what you're about to hear is not George Carlin. It's my impersonation of George Carlin that I developed in the exact same way a human impressionist would. I listen.
They're trying to imply that the jokes were written by AI. Maybe they were. But we're not in a position right now where this all could have been done all on its own. I mean, maybe you could, but the average person is not going to have the ability to do it.
Yeah, no.
I think that AI is it does exist, but not to the general public.
There is the ability now, in some ways, and a lot of colleges are concerned
sure,
about
you
this.
Can write an essay. You can write a. I understand all that, but I don't think that's necessarily what was done here. But maybe it was. Maybe I'm wrong. But I got to tell you, they did a terrible job on The Voice.
Well, an AI...
It doesn't sound anything like, and the mannerisms don't sound anything like George Carlin
An
at all.
AI device can't smoke cigarettes at the rate that George
True.
Carlin
did. Here's Mike and Skylar. Hi, Mike.
Hey, good morning. I agree with you completely. It doesn't sound anything like
Doesn't sound like him. And while Big Honey may be correct, maybe the guy, whoever did this, there's a human behind it, whoever did this, had AI write the jokes. I didn't think the jokes were all that good, to be honest with you, anyway. But, George Carlin is so personal, so much about what he feels and what makes him angry and what, I don't know that it could ever be the same without him actually live there doing that.
Yeah, and also Andrew was right. I remember I was just watching. Remember the thing they had CNN, the 60s, the 70s, all the decades.
Yeah,
I was watching the TV. I think in the 60s or 70s, and it showed. That George Carlin was the first host on this Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And he also was in. Remember the Johnny Carson Greatest Hits, because it showed he was one of the first people on that show. It showed him black and white. He was doing the weather. When he was the weatherman and stuff. But, my favorite to him was, like, the things you never see, the things you never hear. It's just so unique. I actually saw him in Vegas, so I was only in Vegas twice in 2003.
It is, you're right. It was just so very unique. His comedy was so personal to him. And towards the end, though, he was getting a little bit on the... There's a great documentary about George Carlin that's really, really good.
You know what's interesting?
But towards the end, it got to the point where he was just angry.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. But, he was great.
And sometimes he was raunchy. It's almost like, it's funny. Bob Saget had very raunchy stand-up, but he was on a show like Full House. And then George Carlin was the conductor for the Thomas the Tank Engine. I remember too. That was me my era growing up. Yeah. He was the conductor for the Thomas the Tank Engine.
Craziness.
He was in some movies too, I think. Mm-hmm. He was in some movies.
This is where we're going, though. I mean, this is where we're going.
This was what the whole strike was about.
Yeah,
with a lot of the actors.
Yeah, it was. All right, Mike. Good stuff. Enjoy the. Are you a football fan at all? Do you follow any football?
A little bit, not so much.
So you got to go with the Bills this weekend.
I do watch the Super Bowl, though. I do watch the Super Bowl every year.
All right, Michael. You have a wonderful weekend. Thanks, man.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Take care.
Did you see that? And I should have gone over this with Mike because Mike's a big iPhone Apple fan like me. And did you see what happened when that door plug came off the Alaskan Air flight? Did you see what happened?
No.
So it was a kid's shirt got ripped off. There was stuff.
Nobody would have wanted to see that one.
And somebody's iPhone got sucked out of the airplane. And they found it on the ground.
Are you serious?
And it still worked.
Get out.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know how they did it because I dropped my phone, bang, it cracks, I'm all screwed.
I know, destroyed.
Right? But for some reason, somehow, they were able to, that phone still worked after all that. Pretty cool. How's your phone doing, Davey? You all right?
No, I'm still not getting the messages.
What is that now? Message.
I want to swear, but I'm not gonna.
You're blanking
He's
messages.
censoring himself.
Well, if I were to call you right now, don't answer, and I'll see if I'm leaving you a message.
Because here's the dilemma.
Okay.
I was back here yesterday afternoon, like 3:00, and the person that I work with on the weekend show, we know who he is Ray Durso.
Okay.
He called me to ask me a question, and my phone was on, and he texts me like after 5 and says, "Oh, I text you. I left you a message on your phone." My phone was on. I never got the message.
Yeah. I'm dialing you right now. See if you.
Milk healer.
All right, now just hit the button and send me the voicemail.
To hit the answer it,
No, don't answer. All right, just let it ring. Don't touch it.
or to go to voice message.
To go to voice. Send me the voicemail.
We'll take your phone call, leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, okay? Thanks.
Hello, Davey. It's Bill calling.
From the future.
Give me a call. This is really important. I'm not coming in today. Let Richard know I've decided to take another vacation day and won't be on the radio today.
Screw
I'm kind of
professionalism.
sick. I've got a sore throat. Not feeling well. I'll let you know how I'm feeling later, all right? Goodbye. All right, now you should be able to bring your phone into me so I can take a look at it. And this program is called Let's Fix Your Phone. All right. So, okay, you got a voicemail right there.
Well, let's see if it translates.
Hello, Davey. It's Bill calling.
Yeah, it was working.
Give me a call. This is really important.
Let me
I'm not
text.
coming
Is
in
it text
today.
messages too?
Let Richard know I've decided to take another vacation day.
When your phone is off? When your phone is off, you're not getting your voice messages.
Why?
Don't
You
leave your
shouldn't
phone
do that.
off. Don't leave your phone
It's
off.
2024, man.
Stop doing that. All right, that'll solve the
Because
problem.
what if we need to
I
get in
don't
touch
know-
with you?
Yeah, I don't know why that's happening, but don't leave your phone off.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about
You got to block that number.
I don't even know what he's talking about. Oh, there's somebody who doesn't want to get the money. Just don't answer their call. When somebody calls you, Davey, I do it all the time. I don't take the call. Just don't take the phone call.
Okay.
All right, and if
You
you
can
if you
ignore,
send them,
you can block.
The key is the minute the call comes in, quickly send it to voicemail.
Okay.
And make sure the next time they call again, quickly send it to voicemail.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll call 3 or 4 times. Quickly send it to voicemail.
If you don't want them to think,
it'll seem like your phone is off.
yeah, and if you don't want them to think that you're ignoring them, just let it ring.
Just let it ring. Hit the right button on the right side one time, and it'll stop the noise of the ringing, but it'll continue to ring for them.
Okay.
And don't take the call.
Okay.
But don't shut your phone off. But I don't know why you're not getting your messages when your phone is off. But that could be a whole other problem. But solving that problem is very simple. Just don't turn your phone off.
That's like the modern day equivalent.
Anybody
of,
else have problems with your phone? 315-736-0186.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
David.
will leave it on from now on.
Leave it on, yeah. Plug it in, charge it, do what you need to do.
It's the modern day leaving the phone off the hook. Remember, you used to be able to just take off the hook and set it aside. And that's what you shouldn't do with your phone off. Shouldn't do it.
So how do you handle yours when you're charging it? You leave it on, right?
Yeah, of course.
But when you
I turn it off like once in a great while, just as like kind of a turn on or turn off, turn on back on.
I know that what will happen sometimes is you'll have people who are you'll have an update that's coming.
Yeah.
You'll have an update that is coming on. I got to shut you off. You'll have an update that's coming from. You'll have an update that's coming from Apple. And by having your phone on, it'll automatically update it. So you wouldn't want to, lose that is what I'm kind of saying. So there you go. All right. So Davey, from now on, you're going to leave your phone. What?
On.
You're going to leave your phone on. All right.
Leave it on.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I leave my phone on.
That's Governor Kathy Hochul.
No. Imposter.
Little mistake there. Let's try that again. I think I can get it right.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I leave my phone on.
She leaves her phone on,
Yeah,
Davey.
she needs to.
You should leave your phone on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounded a lot like George Carlin.
I think it kind of did. Larry is saying you have to test his phone now, Bill, with it off. All right, shut your phone off. We'll test it. I think that's a good idea. We should really test it just a little bit, don't you think? So you shut your phone off. We're going to break and come back, and we'll actually...
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. I leave my phone on.
That's my wife pretending to be Kathy Hochul.
Imposter!
Okay, my phone is off.
All right, it's off. All right, I'm going to call you now. Thank you, Larry. All right, so I'm calling you now. I'm going to leave a message. Let's see what happens. Are you ready? Here we go.
Hi, I'm unable to take your phone call. Leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, okay? Thanks.
At the tone, please record your message.
Yeah.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Davey, I told you to leave your phone on.
I
What
know
are you
you've been
doing?
ignoring me.
What can't you? You've been ignoring me. All right, now you should be getting a voicemail. Now turn your phone back on quickly, and then we'll do the free money question. This is going on way too long.
Yeah, we haven't taken a break in a while.
We'll do that in a second.
Big Honey and Hecla. Just admit you were wrong again.
I was wrong. I said I was wrong. Big Honey, I said I was wrong. I was wrong. Okay, is it turning on?
This is Governor Bill's wife. I leave my phone on.
It's hard to type while I'm still on the air.
She's the governor of the household.
I needed to drop the governor part.
Okay, my phone is on.
Okay, your phone is on.
You got a voicemail?
And you should be getting a voicemail.
This is Bill's wife. I leave my phone on.
Okay, she leaves her phone on. My wife, she leaves her phone on.
This is Bill's wife. I leave my phone on.
Now, should I hit the phone thing?
Yeah, hit the green phone button and go to voicemail over to the right-hand side.
Oh, God.
The hell? Bring your phone in here. Bring your phone in here. You might have a problem with your phone.
Well, he's got no notifications, so there's no... I don't know if when you turn the phone off and then turn it back on, if you'll have that red notification.
Okay. Oh, you don't have your voicemail set up is what it's showing me here. Boom. Greeting. Oh, I see. You've got all of this.
Unchecked?
Yeah. Let me get rid of it. Hold on. Just hold on for a
Davey,
second.
we got to do everything for you. God. No.
Okay, that's gone. Let's try it again. Yeah, I don't know what you got going on here. He's got a problem. He's right. Thank you, Larry. You're right. He has a problem. There's your greeting. Let's custom. We want to cancel that. Edit done. No. I don't know. He's got a problem. Show Andrew. It's a problem.
All right, let me see.
All right, let's do our free money question of the day.
I'll figure it out.
We're going to do, let's give somebody a chance at $200 this morning. $200. We had a $300 winner yesterday, and we're going to make it. I also have Comets tickets for either tonight or tomorrow night for you to take advantage of. Davey, you're looking for caller number what?
Caller number 4.
Fourth caller right now through the phone lines. 315-736-0186. Caller number 4 at WIBX.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage. 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Tallman's and their professional staff is there for answers, advice, and quality tires at a great price. And right now, Tallman's, when you purchase 4 Summit tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free. Summit tires are great quality and your best value in Central New York. And free installation when you purchase 4 tires is an amazing deal. Don't miss out. This offer ends January 31st, 2024. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tallmanstire.com.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractors, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Hey, Frank, looks like business is booming. What are all those tabs you have open on your computer?
Oh, hey. Well, this one is for my SEO company. This one is for my website company. This one is for my CRM. This is for invoicing and estimates. This one does email. And this one does billing.
Geez, that sounds tricky to manage.
It's clunky, but I need all this to run my business. Wait, you run your own business, and you're even busier than I am. Don't you have all this stuff, too?
I do, but I get it all on one screen with the Town Square Business Management Platform.
What's that?
The Town Square Business Management Platform is an all-in-one tool that helps me grow and run my business. It combines website, billing, and scheduling into one program.
That sounds simpler than juggling all the tools I have now, but you still need someone else to help you find new business, right?
Nope. They have powerful digital advertising built into the platform as well, which helps me keep my calendar full. You can get a demo of the product for free. Check out their website. See if it makes sense for your business.
Go to townsquarelocal.com for a free demo of the Town Square Business Management Platform. Visit townsquarelocal.com. That's townsquarelocal.com.
Hey, it's snowing! All right!
Said no one, ever. Snow in central New York blocks driveways, sidewalks, and parking lots, immobilizing everything. That's why you can count on Warner Sales and Service for the equipment you need to clear snow with speed. Bobcat machines like skid steer loaders, track loaders, and the Toolcat are fast and easy to maneuver with tons of traction for fast clearing action. When snow's gotta go, trust Warner Sales and Service, where quality still counts. Just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona.
She's running around, her breath doesn't smell, her digestive system is perfect. It has made such a huge difference.
What did this dog parent do for their dog? She switched to Nature's Blend, a premium freeze-dried raw dog food made by Dr. Marty Goldstein, a veterinarian Forbes magazine called the Miracle Worker. It's the easiest way to support your dog's easy digestion, nourished skin, playful energy, and most importantly, their healthy, full life.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is back with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free full-sized bag of Tilly's Treasures dog treats. They're best-selling beef liver dog treats while supplies last. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or shop in over 2,000 stores nationwide. Use the store locator to find the store closest to you. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
At Mattress Express, get a queen flex head bed with adjustable base and a set of sheets for $14.99. Qualified buyers get no money down and up to 60 months to pay. A flex head bed is where each head goes up and down independently, but it's still one solid mattress. See store for details.
WIDX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
A couple of comments here this morning. Mike says, the problem with Davy's phone is when a call comes in, instead of going to voicemail, it goes straight to OnlyFans. I don't know, Davey. I'm just reading what they give me. That's not true. This, Davey, is a message from my wife.
This is Allison, Bill's wife. I'll be honest, I leave my phone on unless I'm trying to avoid my husband. Then I shut it off.
Well, there you go. There you go, Davey. You know, she's human, too. Let's go to Matt in Deerfield. Hello, Matt in Deerfield. Good morning. Matt,
how we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
You know the deal. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question and get your answer in. And hopefully, you'll get it right. If you get it right, you walk away with, what did we say it was today?
$200.
$200 from Joseph and Andrew Hobika, the Hobika Law Firm. All right, Andrew, you're ready?
I'm always
Matt,
ready.
here we go. Here is your question. George Carlin's first performance on SNL was how many years ago? Ready, go.
38.
Was it 38 years ago? If his first performance was in 1985, it would be 38.
But it was
1975.
Ooh.
It was 48 years ago. Exactly 48 years ago. It will be 49 years ago on the 11th of October. So, all right. Well, listen, good guess. Listen, here's what I have for you. I'll give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun card, $25 gift card to Aquavina, Babe, 72, Taylor and the Cook, concession stands at Adirondack Bank Center or at Nexus. And if you'd like, if you're available either tonight or tomorrow night, we have front row seats on the glass for the Comets game this weekend. I'll let you work that out with Davey. All right, Matt?
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Stand by, and Davey has you covered. Yeah, it was October 11th, 1975, the very first SNL. And George Carlin, you're right. Back then, it was completely different. They did like a full comedy set.
Yeah.
It was like watching it was like watching a stand-up comedy show. And I think that they called it Saturday Night because Howard Cosell had a program on ABC called Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
so they
okay.
couldn't say Saturday Night Live. Years later, they went with SNL, Saturday Night Live. But in the beginning, they had to just go with, it's Saturday night. If you remember, the original announcer, Don Pardo, was the original announcer, would say that. Okay, explain what this is. This is needed, what is being done here, and it's about time we're getting somebody in a group that's standing up here and trying to put our foot down and say no more.
Yeah, we're very appreciative to welcome in Shannon Patterson. She's with UTICA SNUG, which is actually guns spelled backward. And it's backwards. And it's through ICANN as a sponsor of this program. Guns spelled backwards, and according to their website, it says, meant to show how we can reverse things that are happening in our community. Violence can result in emotional trauma. If left untreated, it could have lasting effects on the health and well-being of individuals, families, and entire communities. And Shannon and the UTICA SNUG program was out in full force in response to the tragic killing of a 15-year-old boy, the first homicide in the city.
First homicide in the city of Utica for 2024 turns out to be a 15-year-old boy. Terrible. Shannon, good morning.
Good morning.
So let's talk about the importance of what it is that you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, SNUG is a New York State evidence-based reduction initiative. It's 14 sites across the state, and we're one of the newer sites. So what we do is we try to reduce gun violence. We do that by mediating conflict, by working with the highest risk individuals. So we work with the individuals who carry guns, the ones who are the shooters, the ones who have lost family members in the last 6 months or so. We bring these individuals into our program, and we try to change the norm of gun violence, because gun violence is normal to them, because they hear it all the time, they see it all the time. So we're trying to change that for them. So we get these individuals into our program. Now, it's a strictly voluntary program. So for these individuals to show up on their own, it means a lot to us.
That's big.
Yeah, it's big. They show up. Sometimes they come when my outreach workers aren't even in the building. You know what I mean? They need somebody. They need a safe space to be. They need a space where they can vent, a space where they can just be genuinely themselves. So yeah, we take these participants out into the community. We do participant events, and we also do community events. We try to hold community events monthly, where this month is National Gun Violence Survivor Week, so we'll be doing an event probably towards the end of the month. And usually the community support has been amazing, super amazing, really appreciative of that. And with the participant events, we do this behind the scenes, so people don't see what we do with the participants. But we take them to do great things. We take them to concerts. We take them to, we even do the simplest things of helping them get their ID cards, their state ID cards.
Yeah.
Helping them get a birth certificate so that they can get a job.
Shannon, are you finding when you're speaking with these kids? These are kids.
Yeah.
That's the
children.
Amazing children. Are you finding that there's just a perceived lack of opportunity?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say that, there's not enough things for these kids to do. There's too much idle time.
Yeah.
And we all know idle time can be dangerous for teenagers. Way too much idle time. So, that's where we step in. My outreach workers, my team works on the weekends. So, on Saturdays, we're trying to engage them in things all day long. You know what I mean? So we're trying to engage in things until 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So by that time, they're going home because they're too tired to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a lack of opportunities for them to be in safe spaces. There's no after-school programs. There's not enough things that care about them and that they care about. You know, so we just try to make that possible for them.
I got to say, not to be critical by any means, but I felt like we had all this money, this ARPA money to spend, and almost none of that money went towards just what you're talking about. And
bringing back a Boys and Girls Club or something else.
And thank God for ICANN that is
oh my God, ICANN is amazing.
Think about
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
I absolutely do believe we need to bring back, a Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA. I had all that growing up. I had after-school programs.
Me too.
Kids they have nothing. They have nothing.
Yeah.
Only thing they have is basketball. And a lot of them don't like. A lot of our participants, they play basketball, but there's more to that.
Yeah.
Well,
not every not every kid likes sports.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. That's very true. That is very
and
true.
Then I wonder about if I not to interrupt. I apologize, but I wonder if how is it? There has to be a little danger that goes along with this because. I can't imagine there's got to be peer pressure. Like, what are you doing that for? Why are you going to that program? Why are you talking to those people? Do you fear that, and do you feel that is going on?
I don't fear working with these individuals, maybe because I can relate to them.
Yeah.
I grew up around gun violence. I have a history. My whole team has experience with gun violence.
Okay.
And one other family members, losing family members to gun violence.
Okay, all right.
So I think that makes it, well, obviously we can relate to them, so they feel safe when they're with us.
Yeah.
So they're able to come and we share our experiences with them and, we open up to them, and I think that makes it greater for them to want to be a part of our program.
And what do you say to somebody in, it doesn't matter what race these people are, but someone in suburban Mohawk Valley, people who are living in Clinton or Whitesboro or New Hartford, and they're like, I do not understand this. How are these kids out in the middle of the night? This makes no sense to me. What do you say to people who don't understand this?
Yeah, I hear that all the time. These are still babies, no matter what, the media says, no matter what, these naysayers say, these are still children. These are still children who do not have a fully developed brain. They're 16 to 20 years old. And gun violence affects the entire Oneida County. When a shooting happens in this area, no matter if it's on the east side, the west side, this affects all sides.
Yeah.
Everyone should be outraged. Everyone should be angry. And I just tell them that, their circumstances. No, you don't know everyone's circumstances. These children, they're raised on survival.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of children aren't being raised by love. So they're trying to survive. They're trying to get their basic needs met.
Yep.
A lot of participants come into our office just to eat. So I'm not gonna judge neither one of these individuals because of what they're doing. Obviously my goal is to reduce gun violence, but
right.
When they come into my office, they're children, and I'm their safe space.
Now, Shannon, you talked about sometimes
the program is called UTICA SNUG, SNUG. SNUG is guns spelled backwards. So
yes.
The idea is to stop the gun violence. Ultimately, your real goal is to save these children.
Exactly.
That's the real goal. Andrew.
So you talked about how, unfortunately, and I think, as Bill was saying, some people may be, naive to this fact, but a lot of these children, as you say, are growing up around gun violence, and it's almost as if, not to excuse it, but it almost as if they have no choice but to maybe get one themselves. Maybe it's unintended, but like in a protective measure. I mean, and where are all these guns coming from? I guess I have so many questions with regard to that aspect of it.
I know. I wish I had an answer to where the guns were coming from, and I do know that it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to break. That's what we've seen. A lot of times when these participants come in, they have experiences of losing a brother, losing a cousin to gun violence, so they're angry. They want to go out and do these things, but that's our job. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We tell them all the great things they can do, all the different paths that they can take, and then our job is to take that norm and to change it. Because, like I said, that's the norm for them. You know, they're numb to it.
Not to mention where this path generally leads is not a good place in the end. So
not a good place at all. And we tell them, you know, we keep it real with them. We don't beat around the bush. We don't sugarcoat. We tell them exactly what their reality will be, you know, if they have a gun.
Yep.
So.
Well, listen, Shannon Patterson, the program is called UTICA SNUG. This is the first we've heard that this is even going on, and I love it, and I think it's so important.
We must do more, and anything you need ever, you've got our information now, so thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, and thank you for doing what you guys are doing over there.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Absolutely. We're about a year in now, so I hope to see, you know, more of the community come out and support us, and yeah, just keep going.
All right. Nice job. Okay, we'll do it again. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Bye-bye. That is Shannon Patterson. You know, we've heard all the complaints about the gun violence, youth gun violence, but we've heard very few solutions. And they're
trying. Boots on the ground, working hard.
You would expect that, and listen, the police they're trying to chase everything down. They're a step behind all of it, trying to keep people safe. But it really is the community that needs to step up here, and that's what's happening.
Yep.
Pretty cool. All right, we're going to do Fox News next, and then Andrew has an update coming up. WIBX Utica Rome, it is 8:02.
A vote looms in the House later this month to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress after Republicans approved that in two committees because the president's son has refused to answer their questions in private as Republicans investigate Biden family business dealings and if his father's involved. Oversight Committee Chair James Comer tells Fox,
eventually the Bidens are going to be held accountable in a court of law.
Hunter Biden was arraigned yesterday in Los Angeles accused of tax crimes.
After entering not guilty pleas to 9 felony and misdemeanor tax fraud counts, Hunter Biden learned his next court date, a motions hearing, is set for March 27th. That's less than 3 months ahead of a trial start date of June 20th. These counts follow the unraveling of an earlier plea deal that would have avoided prosecution on a gun charge. Defense attorney Abby Lowell implying during the hearing there may have been congressional interference with that deal. Hunter Biden did not comment after that hearing. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
President Biden will go to Allentown, Pennsylvania today, touting his economic agenda.
Thanks to the resilience and grit of the community and President Biden's policies, Allentown is making a comeback, as are many other towns around the country.
National Economic Advisor Lael Brainard, Bureau of Labor Statistics show Allentown's unemployment rate 6.5% when President Biden took office. It ballooned to 20%, now at 4% post-pandemic, as the president looks to recapture the state of Pennsylvania like he did in 2020, though when prices of everything were lower. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Speaking of prices, later this hour, we're going to get an update on wholesale inflation for December. On Wall Street, stocks could drop. Dow futures are down more than 100 points. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. We're at 32 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the Stanley Center of the Arts, presenting Standards and Stories with Tony Danza, April 6th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. An investigation is underway into a smash-and-grab crime that targeted a business in Madison County. Authorities say someone broke into Flo's Diner on Route 31 in Lenox after it closed on Wednesday and took the money that was inside an ATM. Employees discovered what happened when they arrived at work yesterday. Deputies are asking anyone with information on the case to call them at 315-366-2313. SUNY campuses are investing nearly $10 million to support students who have a disability. Governor Kathy Hochul says this is all part of the state's goal to build a future where diversity isn't only acknowledged but is celebrated. State-operated campuses will hire staff to mitigate barriers and help disabled students. Data shows more than 30,000 SUNY students have reported having a disability. The New York State Department of Health has launched a new effort aimed at reducing youth vaping. The agency has created posters and rack cards that will be placed in middle and high schools promoting the Drop the Vape confidential text service. E-cigarettes are the most used nicotine product by high schoolers in the state, with over 18% of kids in that age group saying they vaped in 2022. Anyone who needs help quitting can text DROP THE VAPE to 88709. And security changes are coming at Upstate University Hospital in Syracuse following a stabbing there earlier this week. On Tuesday, 44-year-old Sabir Young attacked another man while they were in the waiting room of the emergency room. Officials don't believe Young knew the victim who needed treatment for his injuries. A task force is now looking into making changes such as increasing the number of officers at the ER, installing panic buttons in triage rooms, and screening patients before they enter the ER. It is 8:07. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by Home and Hospital Medical Supplies and Service, carrying a wide selection of home medical equipment. Call them at 315-724-6767. Online, it's h&hmedicalny.com.
Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Dry, quiet weather most of the day. Breezy late as wet snow or wintry mix arrives by late in the evening. Temperatures rise to near 40. Tonight, windy with wet snow or wintry mix to rain. And on Saturday, very windy again with morning rain showers tapering. Colder through the day. Afternoon, scattered wet snow showers. Temperatures falling into the 30s. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Cloudy and 32 degrees. It's 8:08. We'll go through it quickly here. The NFL postseason kicks off this weekend with 6 wildcard round matchups. On Saturday, the Cleveland Browns visit the Houston Texans. The Kansas City Chiefs host the Miami Dolphins. Then the action continues on Sunday with the Bills hosting the Steelers. That's the 1 o'clock game. The Cowboys will face Green Bay in Arlington at 4:25, and the Los Angeles Rams will pay a visit to the Detroit Lions Sunday night. The wildcard round concludes with the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Patriots and Bill Belichick are parting ways. Belichick said in a Thursday press conference he's moving on from the franchise he spent 24 seasons with. The former head coach met with the Patriots owner Robert Kraft during the week to have conversations about the future, and they came to a mutual decision that left both sides comfortable and at ease.
Were they like kind of leaning back a little bit? Or
they were relaxed.
Down on one knee. I'm comfortable.
Massaging each other's shoulders.
Yeah, this is good.
The Yankees are handing out the big bucks. The Bombers and Juan Soto came to terms on a record-setting $31 million salary for the 24 season. The salary tops the $30 million Shohei Ohtani agreed to last offseason. Soto was acquired by New York in a trade with the San Diego Padres back in December. Syracuse has won 6 of its last 7 games. The 11-4 Orange will visit North Carolina tomorrow at noon. And local hockey, you've got the Comets tonight and tomorrow night at the Adirondack Bank Center. Both games will be at 7 o'clock p.m. They take on Laval tonight and they take on Cleveland tonight and Springfield tomorrow. Utica University men's ice hockey will play at Newman for 2 games tonight and tomorrow, 7 p.m. tonight, 4 p.m. tomorrow. And Utica City FC got off to a 6-0 start. They've lost the last 2, but they will play the Comets of Kansas City in Kansas City. That game is tonight at 8:05. Hopefully they'll get back into the win column. It is 8:10.
So I want to give people who are listening on the app, listening on the computer, or listening over YouTube a chance to be competitive when it comes to winning a contest.
You want to give away? I got some Comets tickets I can give away.
All right. Well, we'll get to that then. Okay, we can do 2 pairs then.
2
okay.
pairs.
So, Davey, where I'm going with this is, so let's say at 8:30 sharp, call in, and we'll take the 5th caller. So start calling at 8:30. Take caller 5 and caller 6. You'll get tickets for the Comets. I have a pair to give away for tomorrow night, and I'm gonna be at the game tonight, but I don't need my tickets at this game. So and I have a pair for tomorrow night. So let's not confuse it too much. We have tickets that we can give away. You have tonight and tomorrow night to give away then.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Lance and Lee has a comment here.
Well, before we get to that, 8:30 sharp, Davey. Start calling in, and you can take caller 5 and caller 6 to win Comets tickets. But when it's 8:30, exactly 8:30, call in.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
So at first I was taken, because this is an issue that my fiance is reminding me about, and I'm watching back our stream, I get a little bit concerned. I don't know if it's the seat or what. And I don't think Lance was implying this, but it made me think it. His comment was, Andrew, I sure hope you have better results with the doctor you had on yesterday than Jeff had with his hair regrowth doctor. But I'm noticing, I think, and I don't know if it's the lighting, people say, oh, it's just the lighting in the studio. I think I'm balding in the back. My hair is thinning out in the back.
Let me see.
Here.
Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't worry.
What is going on? I mean,
look at me. Look at Davey.
I'm the epitome of
Shut
hairy.
Shut up.
Join the club.
I don't want to join the club. That's the point.
There may be a little bit there. I'm seeing it where your headphones are. I think it's the headphones that kill us. It ruins our hair.
God.
Yeah. But I don't know, Andrew. You got your hair. I mean, you got a lot of hair. That's all I'm saying.
The hairline itself is strong, but sometimes you get that old
whatever
monk look.
Well, the monk look is why I have to keep mine short, because otherwise I would look like that. You'd have the horseshoe type thing going on. I don't want that. So I cut it really, really short. Now I could do. Do you shave yours, Davey? You don't have to do anything. So you have no hair at all.
I have no hair at all because
Wow.
I got alopecia.
Right. That condition.
Yeah, I don't have to shave or nothing. I do miss going to the hairdresser every 6 weeks. My hair used to be like Elvis.
Oh, yeah, Elvis. Oh, Elvis hair. Wow, That's awesome. Was it dark, like black?
Yeah, it was.
Jet black hair. Okay, cool. My hair used to be like Elvis, too. Thank you very much. Got a break. Hold on tight. It's I used to have a lot of hair. There was a time, but, this business will do it to you. Look at us. It's terrible. 8:13 at WIBX.
Have you ever wanted to learn how to make jewelry? How about learning how to design animations or create pottery? This year, explore your future in art with Munson. Munson in downtown Utica offers courses for artists of all ages, interests, and abilities. They also feature art appreciation classes for people more interested in learning than creating. Classes for the winter-spring semester begin in January. So register now at munson.art. That's munson.art.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We all make resolutions this time of year. And let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
518-554-0000. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Adirondack Home Furniture wants to help transform your home in the new year. Their pieces have timeless design and incredible craftsmanship. Their furniture is the type of furniture that gets passed down from generation to generation. For over 45 years, Adirondack Home Furniture has been providing quality and comfort to Central New York. From American-made pieces to top designers, they have everything you need for any space. Whether you're looking to redo your living room, dining room, bedroom, kids' rooms, or just looking for some pieces to pull the look together, like quality lamps, rugs, and pictures, Adirondack Home Furniture is the place to shop. Adirondack Home Furniture has non-commissioned salespeople, which means you enjoy a relaxing, low-pressure shopping experience. They also pride themselves on their unmatched customer service and attention to detail. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and transform your home for the new year. Riverside Center in North Utica, or go to AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Tallman's and their professional staff is there for answers, advice, and quality tires at a great price. And right now, Tallman's, when you purchase 4 Summit tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free. Summit tires are great quality and your best value in Central New York. And free installation when you purchase 4 tires is an amazing deal. Don't miss out. This offer ends January 31st, 2024. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tallmanstire.com.
Hey, Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. As you covered, we had this done, energy efficiency test. Call it what you want. But they'll come in and they'll do a free home energy assessment for you from Collis. Call it a test, call it a bit of an investigation. It's an assessment of the energy efficiency of your home. And they can tell you where you're losing money. For us, we had a problem with light bulbs, and there were a few areas that had to be buttoned up insulation-wise. And, of course, we put new windows in from New York Sash. Helped a lot as well. Fred F. Collis & Sons, Heating, Cooling, and Insulation, they have you covered. Call today for that free assessment. There's government money out there, and it could be coming to you. They can walk you into it. At 315-768-2323, Fred F. Collis & Sons, Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, Heenan, head coach Gary Heenan with the Utica Pioneers on the line right now. Utica will be home next weekend against, I know it's Lebanon Valley. Both games, I think, Friday and Saturday. One is at 7:30 Friday night, and then the 7 p.m. game on Saturday. That's next weekend. Right now this weekend, they're in at Newman in Aston, Pennsylvania.
Hello,
and
Newman.
Head coach Heenan on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, fellas. How we doing?
Good. Listen, I was at the game the other night, and you handled Manhattanville quite well, although a very competitive first period in the second game on Saturday. But good stuff. Team looks good. They seem to be getting better and better each and every game. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we're making a lot of mistakes. We're still a young team. We're on the right side of wins. I think we're a little bit of smoke and mirrors right now. Our record's probably better than it should be. We're thankful for that. With just 17 new guys, 15 freshmen, it is. You're right. It's getting there. We've got a big finish here. We've got to get through our league as, a game at a time, of course, all those coaching cliches. But down at Newman, a 500 hockey team, brand new coach. They're working their tails off. They're buttoned up more systems-wise. But I like where we're headed. I love the group, big personality. We've got a ways to go, but, I think we're getting there.
So I think the poll just came out. You guys are ranked 7th in the country Division III right now.
Yeah, again, I think it might be a little generous at this point. but we did get those, the early win versus Adrian, the early win versus Stevenson, and those were huge for us. So the pairwise rankings, which you guys don't see, we're actually number 4, which matter. That's where the NCAA selections come off of. So we have had some just huge victories. The defeat before the break to Elmira in our tournament championship game.
Yeah.
We egregious turnover at the buzzer in the second period really crushed us, and then we had a no-show, which I was expecting with a young team at some point versus Oswego. We just played absolutely atrocious. So hopefully we've righted the ship. We've had a great week of practice, and we'll take the 4.5-hour trip today down to Philly and hopefully come back with a couple wins this weekend.
Okay, and then, of course, you'll be home next weekend for both Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, Friday's at the Nexus. We did that last weekend, scheduling conflicts with the pro team. And, the reality is you're faced with a Sunday game at the Odd, which have averaged about 1,200 fans on Sundays, and you're up against NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
So we decided to do it, head-to-head with the Comets Friday nights at the Nexus to see how that went. Our season ticket holders have been pretty vocal in social media that they haven't loved that idea because it hasn't.
They got to buy tickets, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so we'll dissect that after next week and see if that's something we want to do next year or whether we just include it in the season ticket price. But certainly we've had some upset season ticket holders, and hopefully we can get our heads around that and support the club down the stretch.
All right, good stuff. Hard to believe, though, Gary. Here we are in the heart of everything. Here we are, and you're looking at about a month to go in the regular season. As a matter of fact, next week it'll be officially 1 month away from the end of the regular season.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's just 5 weekends left, 2 games every single weekend. And, at that point in your league, and we all know this league isn't the strongest of leagues, you can't slip up once. So, there is some pressure there. Obviously, we've won our league, I think, 7 years in a row. So, we've got the target. Everybody wants to beat Utica. We've got to be on our toes here.
All right, good luck this weekend, and we'll talk next week. Thanks, man.
Awesome, guys. Thanks.
Right, head coach Gary Heenan. They'll be in the Philadelphia area in Pennsylvania tonight and tomorrow, playing them back home next weekend. Comets are home tonight and tomorrow night, as we said, 8:30. Exactly 8:30, Davey. Exactly 8:30. We have tickets to give away. So here's what I'm being told, though. Andrew's saying that because he's leaving town on us, he will not be around for tonight or tomorrow night. So his tickets are available, and then my tickets for tomorrow night are available. And let's give them all away and make sure these seats get used this weekend. So you have 3 potential winners coming up at exactly 8:30, Davey. Do you like this? We've never done it like this before.
If it works, we should try it every week, every time now.
Because now they're, so they would immediately know, I got to call in right now. Right?
Yeah.
So, okay.
And don't start calling at 8:29.
Davey doesn't put up with that crap.
Don't answer that phone until 8:30.
He does not put up with it. I have amazing news. I was going to
His phone's going to be off till 8:30.
I have amazing news. And this is big for me. It's big for Andrew. I don't know about Davey, but we are huge fans. If there was one show you wanted to come back, what is that show?
It's good old Curb Your Enthusiasm.
The trailer is out for the final season. This is the last one of the Larry David show, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
They say that a lot. He's said that a lot in the past years.
I think this might be it, though. If you love the show, you'll know this trailer had to be... You'll know that the trailers tend to be a little risque, so we had to kind of break it down just a little bit. But here's what we could play for you of the latest final season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Have you noticed that when you take a picture, you don't look nearly as good as you do when you look in the mirror? Because the mirror is how you see yourself, and the photo is how you're seen.
Whether I'm right.
Pretty cute.
I gotta be me.
You're small, you're petty, you're jealous. You're a walking virus, Larry.
I gotta be free.
You're a cheater! No, you're a cheater! You always have to be the center of attention. I really did the best under the circumstances of a person who hates people and yet had to be amongst them.
I gotta be
You know who's singing in the song there? You know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Davey? Who is it?
Larry David.
That is not Larry David singing, no. Good guess.
Sorry.
You don't have to be sorry for a wrong answer. The answer is Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah, that's Sammy Davis Jr. All right, I want you to listen to this again at the beginning of this. And let's think about this statement for just a moment. Just play with it for just a moment. Check it out.
Have you noticed that when you take a picture, you don't look nearly as good as you do when you look in the mirror? Because the mirror is how you see yourself, and the photo is how you're seen.
It's true. I can't
and
believe
the
it.
photo is how you're seen.
And that scares me.
I feel like I feel like there's a problem. You're absolutely right. So often I would look in the mirror and I'd be like, I gotta get the photo of how I look in the mirror. Why can't I get that photo?
Or there's I look good, and then you see the photo and you're like, what was
holy crap.
Jeez.
I told Leon Etienne, stop publishing that picture that
God.
he took in the studio. You look good. I can't have another photo taken of me till I lose 30 pounds.
I need Leon's
That's
next trick to make my stomach disappear.
Holy crap. All right. I don't know if you've been watching. I'm a somewhat of a very inquisitive person. I'm curious, and which is why I think sometimes when I ask questions of people, they become offended. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you that happens to me from time to time. And I try to explain. I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm just really curious. And I am massively curious about what is going on in New York City with the Hasidic Jews and this tunnel. Have you been watching any of this on TV?
No, so it's a tunnel system?
There is so it's in Brooklyn. There's a very, very tight-knit, closed-off Hasidic Jew population there.
Yes.
It's a community. Like, if you grow up in this community, chances are you don't ever leave that community.
Yeah.
They have their own security. They have
all the buildings are in Hebrew.
There are rules, correct. There's a lot of Hebrew language. It is old. It's almost like walking on to it's like walking on to an Amish farm, except these are Hasidic Jews, and it's in the city. It's not in the country. It's kind of like that, so I have many, many, many questions. So the New York City Police Department discovered. By the way, we're just a few seconds away, Davey, from 8:30. So apparently, this is what occurred. They near I believe a mosque, a temple. I would be not a mosque, but a temple. Sorry, near a temple. There are underground tunnels that have been built. Now, people are going crazy. There's some people thinking, it's child molestation going on. Because years ago, there was a story that actually broke and there was stuff happening. But, that was a rare situation. What are these tunnels for? What would they be used for? And they looked like there were beds downstairs in the tunnels, rooms that were created. So the New York City came in and said, you can't do this. Structurally, it's not sound. You're going under the street. So at some point, the street's going to collapse.
Yeah.
We can't have this.
Or the buildings above it.
The city of New York came in with cement trucks. They were filling it in. This was just the other day. They're filling it in with cement. And all of a sudden, a lot of these younger guys started fighting with the city workers and with police. It turned into a huge brawl.
Wow.
And it's just, so now everybody's saying, what were the and these are newly constructed tunnels. What are the tunnels for? And why were they so upset when the city was trying to get rid of them? So I have many questions, and really a lot of questions too about the it's very similar to, I would think, and we'll talk to Rabbi Didy Waks in a second. I feel like it's very similar to Christianity, in that with Christians you have Catholics, you have Methodists, you have
Protestant
Baptists, who oftentimes, if you get to the Southern Baptists, it's a lot more strict. You have the Baptists who don't believe that it is appropriate to be homosexual. In fact, they hate homosexuals and they protest against them. You have the Amish, who are Christian, but live a completely different life. So you have all of these different sects, SECTS, of Christians in the Christian faith. You really have the same thing in Judaism.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to talk with the rabbi about that. I have questions. I am curious. It's time to learn. Now, I'm not trying to throw this on anybody else. I'm being very selfish right now. I want to learn myself. I want answers. I'm extremely curious, and we'll speak with the rabbi coming up in a second. Stand by. Davey's handling some Comets winners right now as we speak. That worked really well, this 8:30 thing. I like it.
It lit right up, huh?
Rabbi Didy Waks is coming up next to WIBX.
For a limited time at Mattress Express, qualified buyers will get 60 months to pay on any purchase $1,500 or higher with no money down. That includes all brands of mattresses in the store and massage chairs. See store for details.
This station is brought to you by Tallman's Tire, located in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Tallman's and their professional staff is there for answers, advice, and quality tires at a great price. And right now, Tallman's, when you purchase 4 Summit tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free. Summit tires are great quality and your best value in Central New York. And free installation when you purchase 4 tires is an amazing deal. Don't miss out. This offer ends January 31st, 2024. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer. Online at tallmanstire.com.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Perfect for retirees with extra time. Help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Oneida County Department of Family and Community Services has immediate openings for program nurses, starting at over $59,000. Nurses work a 35-hour work week, conducting patient screenings and home health assessments. And the civil service exam fee is waived for 2024. Apply today at OneidaCountyJobs.com.
All right, I want to tell you, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, physicians, doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, all counselors, an acupuncturist, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic, conveniently located in Washington Mills, and they're accepting new patients today. Call them at 315-507-4751. If you need a new doctor, a new family doctor, they have you covered. We have family members going there right now. I go to the Falcon Clinic as well. Andrew goes to the Falcon Clinic. They do a tremendous job, and if you want a doctor who's really going to say, I'm not stopping here. I want to know what's causing this problem. We're going to dig in and find it out, and thoroughly. You're talking about Dr. Shimoleski, Dr. Zielinski at the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Accepting new patients, call today, 315-507-4751.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
It's going to get us in trouble with YouTube.
You won't do your sister's will.
Can't help it. I have to do it.
Lucy, you won't do your sister's will. You ran off and married, but I love you still.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Davey, how'd that work out? You got your, you have your winners?
Yes, it worked out very good.
Very nice. I hope some different people got a chance to win this time. People listening online, very cool. All right, we're just talking a moment ago about what was going on in Brooklyn and in New York City with this tunnel, and it turned into a bit of a melee. On the line right now is Rabbi Didy Waks, who's going to walk us through our curiosity this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
I've got you. Yeah, I think pretty good. So, and I do think it's so important for us to talk about this. I went on. I was getting some information on YouTube, and you know, you have these pop-up news programs all over YouTube. It's usually a guy, a woman, a mic, and a TV camera, or just a regular streaming camera, and they're making all sorts of asking all sorts of questions, which lead to some really bad stuff. And I feel that's incredibly irresponsible. So I really thought at this point, let's get you on. Let's learn about what's going on. This is a very, would I be correct in saying a very conservative Jewish community?
Okay, so I'm going to give you the background. I want to start by saying this is a much more boring story than people are giving it credit for being.
Okay.
It's turned into a huge story because tunnels are pretty interesting and mysterious and what's going on. And the reason why I'm so passionate about talking about it is because of the anti-Semitism that has come from it. I've seen, people writing, flat out blood libels. I don't know if all your listeners are familiar with blood libels, but that's something that the Jewish community has faced for centuries, where people accuse them of different things. And I saw posts, people writing, "Oh, what were they doing under there," etc. So I want to.
Well, and can I say on this YouTube channel that I was watching, they were going into pedophilia. They were saying that. Right. There
was. Okay, so I want to just prove my credentials about talking about this. This is actually our community. This is the Chabad community. This particular synagogue is it's not just a synagogue. It's a synagogue. It's a yeshiva, a hall of study. It's the place where I studied for my rabbinical ordination. It's a very central place in the Chabad community. It is the synagogue where the rabbi who led the community from 1951 until his passing in 1994, where he lived or worked out of and had his offices there, etc. And so it's a very, very big, well-known place in the Jewish community.
Yes.
And so that's number one, very important. It is when we start getting, I heard your introduction and sort of making the parallel between different sects in Christianity. While there are parallels, I like to start from a place without comparing it to Christianity, just because that already lends itself to certain preconceived notions that people have about different sects. So in Judaism, yes, there are many different traditions and there are many different customs. It is also not like Christianity in that in Christianity, many of the different sects are almost independent religions from one another on some level.
Yes.
Whereas in Judaism, the Jewish community does see itself as one, though our opinions vary probably even more than in the widest views of Christianity. So that's an important distinction to make. Chabad is both a community, an internal community, as well as it's in the 1950s, this outreach, this idea of reaching out to Jews to create a much more sense of belonging and community, and that is why there are Chabad houses all around the world. Really all around the world. Chabad is the largest. It's in more countries than in any other Jewish organization in the world. And we are just one little dot on the map. And that's why we're in Clinton. We're specifically serving a college community, but there are Chabads all over. We're talking about thousands of them all around the world. And so this Chabad synagogue is the central one. Now, what actually happened here? It's really a local story. It would not have been a big story if these people didn't look exotic and didn't lend themselves to, and I know because we look interesting, and when I first moved here, people looked at us in a way that clearly they were fascinated by. But when it's not so far removed from the imagination, when you know who these people are, it's a lot less weird.
Yeah.
So what happened was this building is the main synagogue is essentially a basement. It's like there's a big building, and I'm happy to take you on a tour the next time you're in Brooklyn. I've taken many people to this particular space. And so the main hall is actually a basement. It's a very tall basement, but it's a basement. And originally when it was excavated, it was dug out to a certain size. The movement has gotten so large over the last decades that the synagogue often just can't fill. It's filled to capacity, like literally on the high holidays you can have many thousands of people, and not everyone has a seat. They just like scrunched together, and I'm personally, I get very claustrophobic, so it's difficult for me. But they've always wanted to expand it. And before he passed away, the rabbi, he's known as the Rebbe in Yiddish for rabbi, he really expressed his wishes to expand it, and it was sort of going out from Eastern Parkway to Union, which was the next street. There are activists in the community, and there are people with certain theological and philosophical beliefs that lend them to a more, let us say, more extreme or extreme action-based way of behaving. And they're young guys. They're essentially, students, so they have this idealistic and action. They're always leaning towards what can we actually do.
Yeah.
So
I think if I can interrupt just for a second, the elders, again, for lack of a better word for me, in responding to the media, said that these were, as you said, young guys who were a bit more. I think he might have used the word radical, but not necessarily radical, but more aggressive. You probably could find better words, but. That this really was a group of young males, and that's what we ended up seeing on TV, getting into the fight and the struggle with police.
Right, 100%. Now, I could get into, again, we don't have time to get into like whether they're radicals or not, and what makes
Yes.
within the
Might be the wrong word.
Internal, It's internal community discussion, because there definitely are philosophical and theological underpinnings that get that encourage that behavior, but it is definitely a bunch of guys who think they know better than everybody else. That kind of behavior.
Yes,
there are many
okay.
people who have wanted this expansion to happen for a while. So what did they do? They went, and without permission for the people who actually run, there is like a group of stewards who essentially run the sanctuary, and they just went. And they started digging themselves secretly before that whole episode happened. And they started doing it from what people are now calling a tunnel. It's not, I guess you can call it a tunnel because it goes through somewhere, but it's not a tunnel. They were just digging an empty space adjacent to where the synagogue was. Totally irresponsible, quite dangerous, in fact, right? It could have caused something to fall. There's an entire building above that's, I think, 5-6 floors. It's crazy. And so... they started digging, and eventually it was found out. So the people in charge, and I'm not saying this is not me from reading the news. In fact, I read very little news. My father-in-law is very active in the community. I know firsthand. So and I've also, whatever. Anyway, so they came with a cement truck, and they said, we're filling this thing up. This can be dangerous, and we also have to, put an end to this. That is when these guys went in protest to that and went and broke it open and hid in there and tried to create this sort of, this grandstanding to protest this thing. Because for them, it wasn't really about their little tunnels going on. It was more about the expansion that they see as not just a physical, we need more space, but almost like a spiritual significance that we need more space in our synagogue. So that's how they turned it into almost a bit of a holy thing, but it is entirely not. And they, unfortunately, a number of guys got arrested. Totally unruly behavior. But again, just imagine for a moment they didn't look the way they did. It was just a question of, a bunch of guys doing some vandalism in a house. It would be maybe a story for a second, but it really spiraled out of control. And it got scary because people messaged me, and I was shocked. And people are like, Didy, what's with the tunnel? What were they doing under there? Nothing happened under the tunnel. And there was a lot of I understand why it was a perfect storm, because behind that building, where they were going to dig to if they would have made it there was also a mikveh, which is a ritual bathhouse. You may have seen about that.
Yes,
which has been shut down for years, which I used to visit. It's a whole long story, but it's a ritual bathhouse. You would dip in the water. Anyway, so that place has been shut down for a while, but that just so the mattresses and all that, they were probably old mattresses that were brought there for to sit on, I guess, because there were no chairs. I'm not sure exactly what they were there, but this is not some cult. This is not some. It was just scary reading the things I saw.
I agree, and in fact, I have a story here that I got yesterday. Actually, this is a story in Rolling Stone magazine. The headline: Twitter explodes with anti-Semitic misinformation after secret tunnel found under New York City synagogue, and it did. And the stuff that I was watching was like, wow, they're portraying this as a cult. Which, talking about child pedophilia and all of this stuff. And I'm like, we got to talk to Rabbi Didy Waks about this
and Rabbi,
find out what the truth of the whole situation is.
I just want to say it's amazing that yesterday is the same day that the International Criminal Court of Justice was hearing another blood libel against Israel, where they were claiming that Israel had is intentionally trying to carry out a genocide while completely ignoring Hamas's stated goal of genocide. And so totally two different stories. However, you see how the public can bite and eat whatever it wants, whatever you feed it. And
no
it's a
doubt
dangerous
about it.
animal, the public.
Well, the public is dangerous in a way today where the media, the social media. I mean, you have your, for the most part, fairly responsible media, and then you have this whole underground social media network that moves so very quickly. They don't follow any journalistic structure whatsoever, and you get accusations that are made without any substance whatsoever, and that to me is dangerous because it spreads so very quickly. Andrew.
Rabbi, would the response to this story be the same if it was prior to October 7th of 2023?
That's a good question. I honestly have no idea. I mean, I saw an article that claimed that it's the same. That there's a whole group of white supremacists who have co-opted the pro-Palestinian movement, who now this just fed into their almost fetishes equally. So I don't know. But it definitely makes sense, and for us, I saw, and also the whole tunnels thing. Don't forget, tunnels.
Yes.
There's a whole tunnel story. Oh, look, they're just as bad as that. But I just want to say on what Bill said before. I agree with you. The dark media that's on YouTube, that's completely unhinged and can say whatever it wants, moves very fast and doesn't have to correct itself. On the other hand, the opposite is true on the slow-moving mainstream media, which is more, I would say, responsible in a sense, but also errs sometimes on the side of balance. And so when it comes to the Palestinian, the Hamas situation, it's they have to always explain how Hamas and Israel are somehow on some level equal, so that they can make it sound fair. And so we have to be responsible, but we also have to be honest. And so in this situation, I don't think these kids are going to, in the tunnel situation that we're talking about in Brooklyn, and these guys did something wrong. Let's make no bones about it. And they got arrested, and they messed with police, and they got, and they're going to get in trouble. And many of them are foreign nationals, to be honest, which is also even more ironic because they're Israeli students, some of them, not all of them.
Yeah.
And so they might be deported, who knows? But they're going to get into trouble. It was a local story. The community is reeling and having to deal with this, sense of destruction in one of what it considers a sacred space. And we're going to deal with that. And the story's already almost forgotten, which is why it's funny between Andrew reaching out to me and today I look on the news and there isn't anything about these tunnels anymore. So it's just exciting. People get excited, but I just want people to know we are human, we are normal, and this is just a story that happens in any community. Anything crazy can happen sometimes.
So I think I prefaced all of this by saying, by the way, we're speaking with Rabbi Didy Waks. You have a, what do I say? I would say in Christianity, I would say you have a congregation in Clinton. How would I refer to your...
Well, it's called the Chabad House. The Chabad House refers to the Chabad that was all over the news. And I must say, the New York Post had a really funny. They're very good with headlines, and they wrote Chabad Boys.
Yeah. Well, that's where I got the story of the New York Post. So.
They definitely took the. They were good. But I think, so that's what we have. We have a Chabad House, which is it's a congregation in a sense, yes.
Okay.
We'll
so,
simplify.
and if you could, the difference between, I have Jewish friends who you would never know. You don't see their religion. I have others who are much more Orthodox, who are kosher, require... if they come to our house, different plates. We've talked about that in the past. And then I'm a huge fan of B&H in New York City, which is the greatest store in the world, which I believe has many Hasidic Jews who work
Well,
there.
it's owned by Hasidic Jews.
It is.
It's actually closed on all. They're like,
Oh, yes.
okay, if you want to talk, they're the other side of. They're like the. I don't want to say extreme because that's a scary word, but they're definitely on the most religious, conservative side of religious observance, and they're actually closed. You cannot buy something on their website on a Jewish holiday.
That is.
You can't even shop the website.
I have been in New York.
It tells
Yes.
you can put this in your cart and you can check out, and then it tells you the exact time of what time the holiday ends that night.
And then you can
in New York.
You can purchase.
No, it's like it could be 6:58.
I've been on a Jewish holiday only to find that the store is not open and clearly you don't go on a Saturday, but you can go on a Sunday. At a certain time on Friday, they're going to close early, so they follow very, very close. And so now I know enough to check before I go.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, so the difference between these sects, if you will, these sectors of the Jewish religion, can you just walk us through a little bit of a line on where it all lands?
Walking through this is more complicated than walking through any tunnel, any labyrinth of tunnels. Is all I can tell you. But I mean, Jewish history is very complicated because Jews have lived all over the world since the diaspora started 2,000 years ago, and even before that. So Jews, on the one hand, there are common threads throughout Judaism, and they all believe on some level certain things. But then there is a vast array of things. There are movements that are extremely recent. There are, that veered off from traditional thinking 300 years ago, 400 years ago. But there are common strands between us all. But I will say there are generally, you have in America, you have denominationally, you have the Reform, Conservative, and Orthodox.
Yes.
Orthodox being, the old school, Reform coming from Germany being really the Reformation, you could say. Conservative being somewhere in the middle. They didn't like that it was going to Reform, so they were sticking more to Orthodox, and that itself has continued to change. And there's a bunch of others. Within Orthodoxy, you have Hasidic Jews who follow a certain school of thought. Again, within the differences, they're not always, what's the word, like be-all, end-all differences. The communities are much more well integrated with each other, or people can cross over, as opposed to, from what I understand at least, if you're Catholic, going to a different mass isn't really going to, it's not the same thing they're doing, or whatever, I don't know the different words, but different things, different communities are practicing in a totally different way, and it's almost a different religious thing. Whereas in Judaism, they can come together in ways that are much more connected. Perhaps it's also because of our smallness of numbers. We don't really have a choice. But no, part of it is also that there are essential beliefs in the shared destiny, and because we see ourselves as more than a religious identity as well, and that's very important. You have secular Jews who call themselves atheists who still feel a certain affinity to someone like me because if they're aware and they're cognizant of their heritage and their tradition, they know that our shared destiny, our shared history, and that we've both been thrown out of places and we've both been, we've went through these stories, our ancestors. So, and many of us see even religious Jews like me, see our identity as being more than just religious. My religious identity is an expression of my Jewish identity, but my being Jewish comes first. And that's a whole discussion on what Jewish identity is, which is very, very complicated, but it should never be boiled down to just like, okay, you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're Jewish. Right. Because in Russia, for instance, they would say, you're Russian, you're Polish, you're Jewish. That's how it was. It was seen as a national identity. And so we have to be careful on that. But I think that is also why these differences mean something different in the Jewish faith. Yeah. But yes, there are many different levels of religious observance. There are things that make it different. For instance, our family can't eat out at any restaurant in this area because we keep strict kosher. So the only place we eat is in our house. In this area, at least, my kids love going to Brooklyn because there are places that we can go and eat out. But kosher product, there are things that are going to make, be different. And whereas for other people who aren't so strict about these things, they'll have different experiences. But all in all, we try to focus less on the differences. We focus on our own observance, but we try to see what brings us together with other people. And there's a lot more that does bring us together, both within the Jewish community and even beyond the Jewish community. There's a lot more that we have in common.
So you are very strict when it comes to being kosher, you and your family.
Yeah, so I just tell people, assume we don't eat it.
Yeah, that's right.
It gets even if it has a kosher sign on it, there might be some issue because there's so many more layers.
I have to say the Jewish food, is one of my favorite cuisines. There's a place that we frequented for quite some time in New York City, Sarge's Delicatessen and Diner. It is one of the coolest places. The food is so good. I think it's kosher, but I guess I have no idea. But
I do not know, but I've never been there. But it sounds great.
They're really, really good. Always comes back for me, Rabbi, to food. So
always.
I'm with you. That's definitely a Jewish thing too. So it's okay.
Listen, I love having you on. We learned so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rabbi.
Thank you for giving me the time, and have a great weekend.
You do the same. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Rabbi Didy Waks. Couple things. Season of Inspiration sales event going on right now. Steve Pani Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Enjoy 0% APR financing with Ricky Z up to 60 months on all new 2024 Mazda CX-5s. It's Mazda's way of saying thank you for an incredible, successful year in 2023. Mazda's 0% special offer. See Steve Pani Mazda for details. As Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is from Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. Coffee, espresso, lattes, iced coffee, and so much more. Their donuts are made fresh every day, and that coffee is so good. Also, New York Sash, known for high-quality products with high energy savings, and once a year, they go above and beyond with their window discounts. We're talking about buy two, get one free. Buy 4, get 2 free. There's no limit to the savings. Take advantage. It's New York Sash, located at 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. and Saturday, 9 until 1. Tomorrow, 9 until 1. Or you can go 24/7 at NewYorkSash.com and take advantage of buy 2, get 1 free. It's going on right now. We have the New York Sash windows in our home. Wonderful windows. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. We'll be back Monday morning on WIBX.
Ready for a smoother, safer ride? Look to Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your trusted tire experts. Tallman's and their professional staff is there for answers, advice, and quality tires at a great price. And right now, Tallman's, when you purchase 4 Summit tires, you'll get installation, mounting, and balancing absolutely free. Summit tires are great quality and your best value in Central New York. And free installation when you purchase 4 tires is an amazing deal. Don't miss out. This offer ends January 31st, 2024. Visit Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair in Utica, Yorkville, Roman Herkimer, online at TallmansTire.com.
Are you or a loved one dealing with physical issues? Are you about to have a corrective surgery? Be prepared and take the stress out of recovery. Visit Home and Hospital Medical Supply in the new Hartford Shopping Center. From mobility aids to home safety equipment, they carry it all. Whether it's a heating pad for back relief or a knee brace for that sports injury, they now even have light therapy equipment to fight seasonal depression. Home and Hospital Medical Supply. Care with convenience. Online at HandHMedicalNY.com.
Hi, this is Scott Trout of Cordell & Cordell. There are a lot of great dads out there. Sometimes those dads get divorced. For more than 30 years, we've represented men in divorce, confronting the pitfalls that could devastate your finances or harm your family relationships. While every situation is different, our goal is to get the best outcome for you and your kids. Visit CordellCordell.com to take the first step.
518-554-0000. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203. Online at CordellCordell.com.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
A massive anti-American protest in Yemen. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. And there is a sea of people gathered in the capital, Sana'a. And there have also been protests here in the U.S., angry over the American-led attack on Iran-backed Houthi militants. They vowed to retaliate, saying the U.S. and Britain will pay a heavy price.
Over 100 precision-guided munitions were used in the retaliatory strike that took place on both land and sea, targeting ammo storage production facilities used by the Iranian-backed rebels, as well as launching systems and the Houthis' air defense radar systems. That's according to U.S. Air Force Mideast Command.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff. This after 27 Houthi attacks on oil tankers and cargo ships sanctions, interrupting shipping in and around the Red Sea. Many Republicans say it's about time we took action in Yemen, but Republican Senator Lindsey Graham just told Fox.
It was strong. It was the most significant to date, but it won't change the problem. Won't change the equation. The Iranians could care less how many Houthis die, how many people from Hamas die.
Now, some Democrats are critical that President Biden didn't ask Congress to approve the military action. Israel's defending itself against allegations of genocide in Gaza at the International Court of Justice. Deputy Attorney General Gilad Noam told judges it's a cynical attempt to pervert what genocide means. He maintains the war against Hamas is justified.
The need to act forcefully against an adversary that still fire rockets deep into our country and holds our citizens hostage.
A winter storm is hitting from the northwest to the Midwest. Fox meteorologist Janice Dean says it's a blizzard in some areas.
You got the heavy snow, but then you have the blowing snow, which makes travel difficult, if not impossible.
More than 1,600 flights are canceled, a lot of them to and from Chicago, and FlightAware reports more than 1,000 delays. And that snowstorm canceled some campaign events in Iowa, where the forecast is for below zero temperatures during Monday's presidential Republican caucuses. America's listening to Fox News.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
Paid actor portrayal.
Life can be so unpredictable. After losing my dad, it made me think about my family if something were to happen to me. I had heard about life insurance through Ethos and how easy it was to get coverage. They were right. In 10 minutes, I was covered. And boom, family protected.
Ethos fast and easy online term life insurance up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time 9:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, 32 degrees with some fog in the area. Your full weather forecast coming up. We do have a wind advisory going into effect at 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. tomorrow. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com. Breaking news, Gerard Mayo has been named the brand new head coach of the New England Patriots, filling in for Bill Belichick, who was announced exit was yesterday. So Gerard Mayo, a longtime offensive line coach for the Patriots, he is in as Belichick is out. An investigation is underway into a smash-and-grab crime that targeted a business in Madison County. Authorities say someone broke into Flo's Diner on Route 31 in Lenox after it closed on Wednesday and took the money that was inside an ATM. Employees discovered what happened when they arrived at work yesterday. Deputies are asking anyone with information on the case to contact them at 315-366.